any case,
I don't find her particularly attractive.
Ariana Grande's voice is absolutely fucking out of this world.
Yes,
Yeah, I
and
feel
yes.
like every time I hear her sing, I feel the same way I do when I like hear Louis
She looks
C.K.
like Nicki
Like-
Minaj.
A Louis C.K. bit.
But skinnier.
It's like I like the artistic content, but I don't know how to. I feel very conflicted about the person it's attached to.
Separating the art from the artist.
And that's where
Yeah.
we started recording. Hello, YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Ariana
I mean,
Grande
fuck
and
yourself.
Louis C.K.
Look-
the same person.
Yes.
Look no further than like Michael Jackson
Yes,
for that, man.
they are both ginger white males.
Oh God, I'm imagining the future.
Oh God, it's me.
Oh no.
All right. So, I missed you guys. If you're ready to
We
get
saw
started,
you like every week,
did you?
except Tanner.
Yeah.
I
I'm
didn't
the
get.
one
what
that's
you're
been
saying is
missing.
you
I-
just
Get special
I
call
love
out.
you all very much. I only miss Tanner. At this particular moment,
Fuck yeah.
Fine, I see how it is.
because I saw you all very, very consistently.
Well,
Wait.
heard.
Do you have cameras?
I was about to say, it's just doll in my window at night.
That's
I'm
for me
sleeping.
to know, I think.
That's for you to know and for me to sue you for.
Well, I'm just
Mhm.
saying, doll. Let me know if you see anything you like. I mean, God, I do live alone in a house with no one else here.
Oh, I see
Pants
something
are
I like.
off. Keep in mind, Darp, you're recording this.
Uh-huh. I don't care. What are they gonna do?
You,
Take away my
you-
monetization? Oh no!
Y'all want to do some cums? Y'all want to do some cummies? Anybody?
Oh God.
Anybody want to do
Give
some
me your-
cummies?
Give me your sky cummies, Sky Daddy.
Yeah, give me your cummies.
Okay. So I'd like to. So I didn't update the summary here, because I kind of want you guys to discuss amongst yourselves and to me what you remember from last session.
Did we level up
Okay. Let me start out. Let me get on the board here. I came up with a fantastic, well-conceived, thoroughly thought out, well received.
We get it.
And my plan was awesome, and it was completely nullified by a thing, and I'm not gonna point out who did that,
at all? I'm so
I'm-
confused.
Oh,
It
we're
was
talking
Zoo.
about that. Okay.
but
I know. I'm being.
for
Funny.
Tanner, it's all water under the bridge.
Oh, I get it. now.
But
You're okay.
for Ilix,
He's salty.
So-
From my notes, we continued on our way while traveling. I kept an eye out for more wolfsbane in hopes to start a garden. You never know how useful it might be. We found a whispering way symbol off the side of the trail, indicating a small path we hadn't seen before. We crossed the river, much to the chagrin of Ilix, not by water walking. Got to the lodge.
Yeah,
The
just
lodge-
Ilix. She's the only one that expressed any chagrin about that.
If
There was
I
chagrin and
remember
then there was rage.
correctly, Ilix expressed chagrin and Havelock expressed like
rage.
floods of sarcasm.
You-
Floods
No.
and floods of sarcasm.
And
A
and
tsunami.
He went Super Saiyan. He turned
did.
on judgment
It
and
was
scrutiny.
like Fukushima
No, I
tsunami
turned on
levels
everything.
of sarcasm.
I activated every single ability that I had at once. I activated Bane on Zoo. That was the subgroup that I chose.
Went goddamn Super
I mean,
Saiyan
Sinister.
almost.
She's her own subgroup.
Anyways,
Yes. No, it was. I did it for the
Activate
lols. And I thought it
Bane,
was
pain
pretty
in the
funny.
ass.
after that we got to the lodge. The lodge wouldn't let us in. Duristan, a nobleman, invited us to join his werewolf hunt. We got to the supposed corpse of a stag, only to find boar tracks and direwolf tracks. I was able to collect 2 bulbs of wolfsbane for later. If I remember correctly, the boar, like the boar tracks, it looked like it was dragged off by direwolves
And we started following.
or dire werewolves. Sorry.
Yeah. There was
you're-
also a. Go ahead.
I'm gonna correct you a little bit there, just to save confusion.
Yep.
The corpse looked like it was dragged away by boar.
Oh,
Um,
gotcha. Okay.
But among the footprints, and because it was kind of a messed up scene, like there had been a struggle,
Mhm.
so it was kind of hard to make heads or tails of stuff. But Ilix found boar tracks leading away with the dragged corpse. The big wolf prints you thought were dire wolf. Duristan corrected you that it was probably a larger werewolf.
Gotcha. Cool.
I think he told
That's
you what
still
tribe
level.
too, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
I
Yeah.
don't think he did.
There
and if he did,
was-
I definitely didn't write it down.
Yeah, there was another man there with us. His tracker, his I don't know, the guy who does all the work.
Mhm.
His
Patsy.
yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's the word I'm
Seems-
looking for.
Seems accurate.
This isn't a crime thriller.
Manservant.
He wasn't. I wasn't using
His
the noun
guide.
Patsy. I was using the
Guide.
proper noun. Patsy.
Oh, his name named Patsy.
Yes.
Also, don't think that was right, but it
definitely
it'll do.
wrong, but it conveyed the image.
Yeah.
Also,
So-
Come along,
you're
Patsy.
totally right, Travis. Totally right.
Oh yeah, no, like that's what I kept thinking of. I couldn't remember where it was from. I just remember
Oh
that,
yeah.
and then I remembered it.
Your ass is grass.
Leave me alone.
Yep. Oh man, Zinnis has probably woke up to find that her Jack Jones is gone. She's probably really upset.
Yeah. So actually, I'm curious
Yeah.
how. Well, before we continue, Darp, if you want to give us our summary, but also explain how we get back.
You guys were there to see how you got back. There was a magical Thanos finger snap, and you were back at in the forest of Ustalov. Why am I telling you this? This is Darp's game.
No, you're right. That's what happened.
But
And
Havelock was
Havelock had so much extra
Havelock
gold
and-
on him.
Havelock and Plea were unconscious, and so is Ilix. So we don't know what
Mhm.
happened.
And technically Xenesis at that point.
Yeah, but Xenesis knew what happened. So I guess Darp, if you want to explain the summary, so that we're kind of all on the same page because it's been like a month.
So I think you hit on all the points as far as the Carrion Crown story is concerned. For those of you that had the experience of slipping into the first world, you essentially wake up while walking, and it's all sort of a dream. So you were kind of caught out of time and space, Doctor Who style, and you just kind of are back where you were in our last session, and yet you have more money in your pocket, which is weird.
Yes, the gold was not a dream.
Well, Xenesis has more money in her pocket. Leopold, I think, spent most of it.
But I spent, I think, all of it on bullets.
Yeah. So you have more bullets in your pocket, and you remember what
I
happened.
do.
So yeah, so essentially, Leopold and Xenesis are the only ones that have this experience. The other two of you were just asleep while you were in the first world. So to you, it was just like a flash of white light, like maybe you had high blood pressure or something, and then it went away.
So my question is, do we know that we fell asleep at all?
You
Or-
might. No, I don't think so. I don't think you feel like there's any time missing.
Okay.
I think you had the weird experience of like a flash of light and the world being just sort of white and blank for a moment before it coming back. And so I'll let you interpret for your characters what you think
it's
that means.
like seeing stars if you have
Yeah.
if you're about to pass out but you don't.
But we can roleplay that in just a second. One thing I do want to touch on is the experience tally, because I want to make sure that mine is the same as yours. So in the last game that we had, which was on the 11th of July, I have down that you guys got 250 experience each for roleplay.
I have that too. My total is 37950.
Okay, I agree with that.
Sweet. I love it. We're caught up.
Perfect.
I think after before the last chapter ended, we all got squared away. So
Doll,
I agree.
quick question, Doll.
Mhm.
I don't actually know because it didn't really transfer over. I don't know how many bullets or the exact amount of money I have. I think I had I remember making 30 of each, I think, but I don't remember the total.
Should be able to log into his game and double
Oh,
check.
that's a good point.
Um,
Yeah, if you
Locked it.
record it there,
Probably
you could
would be easiest because he doesn't know where you store that information.
Yeah.
look. Yeah. And I also definitely don't keep track of your guys.
If you didn't
money.
write it down, it doesn't exist.
No, I did write it down.
He
It's
wrote it
in
down. He just
other
wrote it down in that game.
in another existence. Just give me just a second. You can keep going. I'll find it.
We're in combat
I
immediately.
like this
we need you,
music. It's
Leopold.
very peaceful.
You don't need me.
I hope, or I think it probably will not stay that way. So the question for me is, I guess when we go through that flash of light, Havelock will probably kind of stumble and kind of scratch his head and be like,
I'll reach
That
over
was-
and pull you back up.
"That was strange."
Durston will swing around and goes, "Are you all right?"
Yes, actually, I feel refreshed, almost as if I've had a very, very, very long nap.
When he says that, I look at Zoo and I kind of squint my eyes and go, you on the same page here?
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of nod and I put my hand on Havelock's shoulder and I lean and I go, Havelock, I'll explain a little bit later. It's kind of a long story. Just a heads up, we might be wanted for murder.
It's the coolest,
What on earth are you
strangest dream
talking
ever.
about?
Pretty sure we've been
Murder?
wanted for murder for what? That's ridiculous. You must have bumped your head, Leopold. There's no reason to say something like that.
I signed to Leopold. What are you talking about?
And I look at Zoo and I go, you know what? Maybe I'm just crazy. Never mind.
So does Ilix just not remember anything?
Um,
Or do I
you
get the
saw
sensation of
you saw the
strangeness,
flash
or-
of light and had the kind of strange out of body sensation for a brief moment.
Okay.
Why is my back all soggy with marsh or moss? Weird purple moss.
Just this is a later thing. I feel.
Delgrass is in the back, just kind of waiting for you all, and his men are just kind of looking around amongst each other, like, are we gonna get going? And Duristan goes, yeah, so if we could, Ilix, if you could track the boar, I'd like to find this carcass.
Yes, of course. So I will throw you a survival.
I will also help.
Oh yeah, you have no trouble at all.
Okay. The tracks go off in this direction.
I will draw that for you.
I gotta get a little bit breathier. The tracks
That
go
is-
off in this direction.
There you go. That's
That's
right.
good. My Witcher senses are tingling.
My medallion's vibrating.
Monster nearby. Gotta be.
That's actually really good, Ryan.
Thank you.
Someone's played a lot of Witcher.
Someone's played like 300 hours of it, I think.
Damn, you're ugly.
Delgrass goes, Xenesis, are you going to walk?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm still
She appears
Trying
to
to
be
wake up.
distracted by all these man folk around her. Xenesis?
Is anybody?
nothing
Am I
like
having
hurt
a
a
weird?
person in my dreams.
Am I having any weird voice stuff? Do I
No,
sound?
you
all
sound
right?
fine.
Sound
Okay,
normal.
I ran an Ethernet cable back to my room, so
Eek,
I don't know
there
if
you
that
go.
Attaboy.
improved
Those
things
are
at
good
all.
life choices right there.
Yeah, yeah. 400 megabytes a second is a lot better than
Ooh, baby.
70.
I love the shadow stuff. When you move your character, it's so baller.
Line of sight.
Oh, in the fog of war.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, that dude, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Havelock's gonna follow along. Come along, Poopsie.
So Ilix, as you approach these bushes, you can kind of see some blood splattered on the ground behind them.
Okay, I will indicate for everyone to hold up, and then try to work my way around the bushes here and get a look at.
Okay. With that, let's roll
This
initiative.
area.
Cool.
Oh, you're right. The music stopped. Sadness.
Now we get to have some rockin' beats.
I figure.
I'm gonna add my own.
A bongo band. The Bongo Bandits.
Still pretty good.
All right. As soon as Ilix approaches the bushes, you hear a loud cry, and you get charged by a dire boar.
What's the sound they make again?
Nope, not doing it. If you missed it the first time, it's not happening.
Oh no, you recorded this.
Let's all do it in chorus.
Oh my god,
There's a pack of them.
pterodactyl boars are upon us.
Dire pterodactyl boars.
My god.
Okay, so 21 to hit.
I'm pretty sure that hits.
Oh, yeah, I show 19 AC for you, so
Yeah.
you'll take 14 points of damage as the
Fucking
dire
owl.
boar gores you.
I guess I should have done it. I don't know. Anyway.
I tried to give you a hint with the bushes and the blood behind it, and you were tracking boar.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm not gonna argue the point.
Ow. Is the point.
It hurts.
I suspect
man,
you'll be okay.
Got charged by a dire boar.
And the other ones... Oh, I suppose I need to get them in the turn order here. Okay, so that takes care of our surprise round. Yeah, I don't think they noticed you until Ilix walked up. Let me double check that. Oh no, they definitely saw Xenesis. So you're gonna get charged too, but like actually charged.
Ooh-wee.
21 to hit, I assume yes. Xenesis, you'll also be gored for 19 damage.
Oh.
That's a little weird.
She's pretending it's Jack. Calm down.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Having some memories. Havelock, you are up first.
She did say that
Okay.
she was distracted by the memory of a beautiful man
You
earlier.
know what I'm gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna say, Xenesis, get behind me, and slash at the and activate my judgment as a swift action, which would be fucking the one that helps me hit. Just
All right.
yeah, it's on, and I attack. Huzzah!
25 to hit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you'll hit.
Yeah.
So 19 points of damage. Okay. Leopold.
Looks like Plea and Havelock got that one, so I'm gonna shoot at the one that gored Ilix, and I'm gonna fire twice. So my shot and rapid shot. I see within. Oh, hang on. Whoa! That's not the measurement tool. Yep. Okay. So it's versus touch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got him. Except for
Okay,
the second
so-
one. Or the
Well,
second,
no,
the third
that
one actually.
doesn't even-
Yeah.
That one doesn't even go off. So.
Okay, so just the first two, the
Yep.
primary and rapid shot?
Yep.
Okay. So 20 damage. And which one are you shooting?
The one that gored Ilix.
Gotcha. It's in the bushes right now. I think it might actually have partial concealment to you. Where the fuck are my dice?
Can it move through those though? Never mind. I
Sorry?
guess it doesn't matter. Never mind.
I mean, it attacked out of it. I don't know.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can see Ilix just fine. Alright.
But like,
Do you want higher or lows to hit,
Yeah.
bud?
50%.
No. It's partial, so it's 20% to miss.
So, I guess I'll make the miss 1 through 20.
Well, I rolled an 11, so the first one misses.
So, keep it.
What about the second one? Do you want high or low?
Just 1 through 20.
Okay. I rolled a 61, so you hit with that one.
So 9 damage.
Affirmative. Thurston is a little late to the party, even though he rolled a nat 20 somehow.
how?
Durston will draw his bow and say, "Oh goodness, I haven't seen Diabor in quite some time. If you could, and he seems to be trying to line up a shot, along with the rest of
Oh God.
Delgras's men, but they seem to be hesitating. While you guys are all in the melee there, they aren't looking like they're going to fire off any shots.
You wouldn't happen to be precise shots, would you?
I don't know how confident I feel about that, good lad. Alright. So,
Okay.
I think this Direbor is going to attack Havelock,
Bring it, motherfucker.
since you just sliced at him. 14's going to miss, I assume.
It will miss.
We'll have one attack Ilix. 27 will hit.
Good lord.
And that'll be 17 damage for you. And then
Gee, I'm
just...
so glad I came back to die in my first combat.
That seems unlikely. And then this one's gonna charge Plea.
I'm curious how they get partial concealment, but they can see out just fine.
Because Ilix is right next to the bush.
No, but like they can see me and Xenesis without us having partial concealment to them.
It's... You can still see someone in partial concealment. You're not
Yeah.
invisible.
I know, but whatever. Go on, go on.
21 to hit.
That's not against. Wait, that's
That's
not
just
against
regular
charge.
AC.
Okay. 21 does hit me.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Well, he rolled double sixes, so you take 21 points of damage. That was
These
nasty.
boars ain't nothing to fuck with. We should see if we can recruit them into our party.
Seriously.
Ugh. What is up with their chin?
I am 5-footing back,
Okay.
and I am going full nuclear on this
Do it.
one right here.
It looks like a reverse vampire bat's face.
Okay.
Like the top part does.
Havelock,
Eyes.
with a 12 knowledge nature, all you know is that these are extremely large boar.
Yep.
I can also give you that the... Oh shit, are they supposed to be large? They are. Whoops. Scares mate.
Ah, they're growing.
Jesus.
Well, that's not fair to Ilix, though. Okay, these will be
Also-
overlapping temporarily.
You got snuck up on by fucking. the
Well-
gigantic
behind there.
Anyways,
Anymore.
so
Okay.
retconning slightly.
Yeah.
Okay.
How'd they charge? What the fuck? All of this doesn't make sense anymore.
Anyways, so, Havelock, you know that these are sometimes called Deodons. They tend to be 10 feet long and 7 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh approximately 2,000 pounds.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
There'll be some good meat tonight.
Oh, it's
they are also
us.
expert.
We
they
are
are
the
also-
meat tonight.
They are also expert hiders, apparently.
Yeah. Don't think about it too much. Your first shot will miss. Rapid shot will hit. It's weird that they both say rapid shot. Let's see. 25 will hit. 20. Oh, that's a crit. Yep, you'll crit.
Yeah.
So 7, 10, and or yeah, sorry, not 7, 10. 7, 7, and 16.
So 30.
So 30, and then plus 2 because of my range increment. So 32. They're not aberrations or undead, and I don't get any bonus from favored terrain, so yeah.
You just fucking pepper this thing, and it falls over. It falls lifelessly to the ground.
Good.
Xenesis.
Well, I know what I'm gonna do. As a cleric, should always channel energy. Boom.
Are you declaring anybody to not get healed by that?
Yeah. Oh, I guess
I recommend the giant boars.
yeah.
How many targets do you get to choose to not hit with your
One.
channel?
Might I suggest
Well,
the one
it goes
that
off your-
has already been hit?
It goes off your charisma modifier.
Was it that
So,
one? Was it that
So
one? Was it,
What-
which one?
what's your charisma modifier, Zoo?
Charisma. Let me see. Charisma modifier. +1.
So
there's
one.
just one.
Well, one of them is has one of them been hurt?
One of
Which
them has
one
been
is
hurt.
that? Is it this
One
one?
of them probably hasn't.
You
which
saw
would
which
not
one,
make
but
any
then they got
difference.
changed size and moved locations, so I don't know which
Is-
one.
I didn't
exactly.
change their locations.
Is that one dead though? Because that one could
Yeah.
just stand up.
Those two dire boar just like did the fucking Dragon Ball Z merge into one another.
The fusion
Okay.
dance.
Yeah.
Well, whichever one is injured, I do not heal that one.
Well, you're gonna have to be more specific because there are 2 injured ones.
The one that has taken the most damage will not get healed.
So the one that's pretty much dead.
I thought that one
The one
was
that-
dead. That's why there's an X on it.
It slumped
you-
lifelessly to the ground.
Can she just not
It's dying.
heal?
Don't heal that one.
Can she just not heal any of the boars?
I
No,
don't
she
know
can
what her
only-
limit is. That was the first question
Oh,
I
it's
asked.
It's one.
So
Okay.
heal the one in the back, too.
Channels.
Okay. I don't heal the one in the back then.
Okay.
Because
Thought it
technically
was
it's
dead.
still like if we were
It's dying.
being
It's not dead.
yeah.
Right.
Well, the X is very deceiving.
You don't get to know if something's dead or alive unless you check it.
It's true. We've been playing super fast and loose with it, like the dying rules, but he's
Generally, if you leave something on the ground bleeding out, it's gonna die. So up to this point, it hasn't mattered. But if you're gonna
Yeah.
channel energy around things that are like bleeding out, you're gonna heal them.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, if it's like an undead or a construct, they don't have negative hit points; they just die. You guys have had quite a bit of like that stuff.
A lot
so.
of undead. A lot of constructs. Major
Okay,
fucking constructs.
so this boar here sparkles, and the wounds on his body heal up.
They're troll boars.
The rest of you get healed for 22, which I assume maxes you all out.
No.
Everyone but Zenith. Or
No, pretty close. Elix is only down a few. Please.
Felix did take a lot of damage. I'm trying to. Okay, that's a full round action, so no, I can't do that and roll acrobatics to dodge. So I'm going to roll acrobatics and try to get out of the way of this boar on the right. This is my intended location. So 22 on acrobatics to get here.
Yeah. Ooh, I need to check their CMD.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's low, but I guess I don't really know.
You do. Oh, what is it? 22?
22.
Yeah.
I should clarify. I should actually clarify. This is my path. Wait. How is it? How does it?
You right click.
This is my path.
So.
So I would only provoke from one if I don't. If I do.
Can you do that though with 35 feet?
I have ridiculous move speed.
Do you have 35?
I think I have way more than 35. I have 50 movement speed.
Oh yeah, you're good. Okay. Yeah, the boar both try to gore you, but you deftly dodge their tusks.
And then when I get here, I am going to use Stunning Fist for the first time ever.
Ugh, Jesus. So describe to me what this looks like.
Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, my hands are basically magical. So as I go to punch it, it starts to like kind of glow white.
All right. And what do you do?
As I punch it, and I try to punch it like right in the back of like the jaw.
You never want to punch an animal in the face. Let me just
You're
say
trying
that.
to Are you trying to KO this fucking?
I'm
this
not trying to like
fucking
insta
giant
kill it.
boar?
I'm trying to stun it. So like if
I
you hit it,
know. I just think it's
You wanna,
awesome.
you,
You're
you
just
wanna,
like,
you wanna hit it by the eye. I'm not
Catch it
saying
in
this
the
because I've
temple.
ever punched animals before, but
I feel like you are saying it.
But you didn't
Punched
deny
animals.
punching animals.
I grew up on a farm. I did what I had to do to survive.
The DC is, let's see, 10 plus half my level plus 2 for my wisdom modifier, so 15 fort.
Oh, fort save. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
He rolled a 14.
Sweet, he is stunned for 1 round.
All right. Havelock.
Okay. Are they helpless if they're stunned?
It's a good question. I don't
Looking
really
it
know.
up right
I don't
now.
think they
Stun
can
creature
do
drops
any
everything
actions.
held. No, -2 penalty to AC.
They're
loses
close,
dex
though.
bonus. So they're
No dex
basically
to AC
flat-footed.
and -2 to AC, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's quite good. So I'm not gonna worry about. So I'm gonna move here so that I'm not in range of the guy in the middle. So hopefully our hunters will I'll say open fire on the middle one as soon as the elf moves, and I will
Which
take a
elf?
swing.
We're dumb.
Take a swing at the stun
We're
boy.
rubes.
Whew, good thing I picked the stun guy. I rolled a 4.
I think a 16 will actually hit.
Yeah, -2 plus lose all dex bonus to AC. So
Yep. 17 damage. That's fine.
They are big, so they might be like really high natural armor.
yeah.
And all the places where he healed up, you cut him like a ham.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Jesus,
What a
Leopold.
ham.
I'm going to swift reload with the bandolier. I'm going to fire, and then I'm going to do a full round attack with all 3, and use 2 of the cartridges in order to fire. So, full round. Oh, no, I stop on the second one. Cool.
14 versus touch on the closest one.
The one that was already hit, so that one. This general area.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
have
that's-
a super low touch. So the
Well,
stunned
they're
one?
huge,
Are you
so-
doing the stunned one or?
Yeah, probably the stunned one, just so
Okay.
we can get it out of the way. Well, I only hit it once though.
So,
'cause
7
I
points of
jammed my
damage?
gun. Yep.
All right. Duristan and his men still don't have a shot. So, yeah. Darbor. One of them stunned. Can't do anything. This one needs to attack Xenesis. 11 probably misses, I imagine.
Yep.
Alright. He's going to 5 foot here. So that the world makes more sense again.
Not bad.
And this one needs to roll a death save. Okay. Ilix.
5 foot. Actually, 5 foot. Can I 5?
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm gonna drill this guy.
Do it.
I have to hit the right button when I do it.
Oh.
Wowzers.
Wowzers.
Not a whole lot of damage, but I do need to throw you my extra D8.
Alright.
Because of my mini shot. D8 plus 2. That goes on the first attack, which I assume hit. Okay. So
Give me
what do
total
we
damage
get?
here.
So we got 7, 15, 20 total. And then another plus 1, 2, 3 for 23 altogether.
Perfect. Yeah, you pepper this thing full of arrows, and it is groaning. It's not happy.
Good. That's how I like my ham.
Yeah, I
Groaning.
bet. Xenesis.
Alright, I'll take a 5 foot step back. That way.
Okay.
And then, I suppose, man, it's so early in the game. This one, I'll just throw my dagger at it, I guess. I don't know.
I
You know,
have a
you-
crossbow.
So you
have
could
a
stab
weapon.
before you step away, by the way.
Oh. I have a crossbow. I'll load my crossbow and then wait for my next turn to shoot it.
Okay? Please.
I'm curious, did that trigger any actions from Duristan and his group?
No.
Oh, so they weren't readying an action this whole time?
Nope.
Damn it.
Lame.
That would be
lame
too much to ask,
compatriots.
wouldn't it? They're the worst.
Well, they're not exactly adventurers.
But they are hunters.
They've been aiming their bows this whole time. I figured that counts as a ready action.
Yeah, not quite. I'll explain
Yeah.
later.
I will do a flurry then.
So he isn't stunned anymore.
It would end at the end of either his turn or in the beginning of my turn. So no, either way.
Yeah, so he's not stunned. I don't think the 8 will hit.
Probably not.
The 13 you just you just narrowly miss. But the 26 will hit for 7. As you're just boxing with this. I'm sorry, monks are hilarious. Have luck.
Is there anything better than that, though, really?
Not really, no.
Alright, I'm gonna go,
Accidentally killing a dragon was a little better.
I like that. That was pretty good. That was not his monk, though.
True.
Alright, I'm gonna haul back Gabby's greatsword, do what I do best. Well, maybe not best, but...
Oh, you gotta believe in yourself, man. You gotta commit to these things. So Plea goes
You're boring me.
to. Oh God. So Plea punches this thing on the side of the head, and it turns to face you, Plea, and when you look it straight into the eye, Havok just brings his sword down and cleaves its head clean off.
Now, does that one need to make bleed out?
No, that one's dead. That one's missing its head.
I want to do a quick little sword twirl and look at Plea like I'm shaking the blood off it, and I go, "What? I just thought it was faster."
Leopold.
Please fine. This is like, that's literally like what Flea does in combat, is to like open up
Yeah.
crits for you.
Yep. I like the idea that you're my teacher though, and you're like doing all these like really subtle like joint manipulation fucking precise strikes, and I'm just like, just fucking swing at it with essentially a massive meat cleaver.
Leopold, give me some firearm action.
I can't. I have to fix my gun first.
Womp womp.
Aw.
So, well, it's a movement, so I can fire once. Swift reload, fire once.
30 will hits. 10 damage is nothing to sneeze at.
Are you sure it's not concealed? No reveal. Dead.
Alright, I think Duristan gets brave here and fires off a shot. Oh yeah, he hits. Let's see
Which
how much
one
he
of us?
does. Nice.
Nicely played.
Thank you.
I feel like if you pop these things chins, like the air will go out of them, and they'll just kind of.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say something way worse.
Jesus.
So he fires off an arrow, and that one falls down.
Well, then,
What were you thinking?
Flea will,
Does it hit it right in the chin?
knowing that we're basically currently like trying to suck the fuck up to this guy, Plea's gonna walk up and he's gonna be like making the motions of clapping his hands, but as they come together, no sounds come out. Like it looks and sound like it looks like a golf clap, but even quieter.
Seeing what
Um,
you're doing,
Thank
I think-
you.
Havok is gonna say, is he Sir Duristan or I can't remember. Oh, my lord, I guess. Say, oh, you've saved us. Didn't know what we were going to do until you came along with that nicely placed shot.
Are you bluffing?
He's sucking up. I don't know if
yeah,
it's it's not outright lying.
I mean, I'm not being sarcastic.
Okay.
I guess it's a bluff since it's disingenuous, though.
Exaggerating the
I
truth.
don't like actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Believe,
I think
but
roll
I'm not,
bluff
like,
here.
I'm not like mocking him though. Yeah, I'm just trying to. I guess if anything, you would just say that
Can
like.
I assist in his bluff since I am doing this clapping? This
I think you would get. The way it was described, you were doing it first, so either it's two separate bluff rolls or he's actually helping you.
Oh, well, I'm not bluffing. I'm just clapping.
Yeah, let's roll it. Let's do it separate if we do it at all.
Okay, I'm gonna roll mine.
Oh man.
So he believes me, but doesn't quite believe Havelock.
Ilix is going to go over and cut one of the tusks off these things, or like dislodge one of their tusks, and is also going to cut off one of their ears. And like as they're finishing that up, kind of like as in a way to like make him feel like big hunter man. She's going to pass the ear to him and say, "A trophy for you, Lord." And is also going to throw in, I guess, with What were we bluffing again?
So
I'm
here's
trying
the
to
thing.
help.
Like, I'm trying to make him like us more, but
Yeah.
if he's like, so if he sensed motived and could tell that I was maybe not like being completely genuine, my actual motive there would just be to make him feel better about
Yeah.
his
Uh-huh.
feet. It
He
wasn't
can
Yeah.
tell
to-
you're sucking up, as opposed to
Right.
completely hiding
Yeah,
the fact that you're
exactly.
sucking up.
I don't want it to be like he could see through your bluff. You were making fun of him. Like, I wasn't
Well,
making fun of
I
him.
didn't
Let-
help.
You can let
Okay.
me just play it out, man. Don't panic.
I know. I'm just making sure.
Okay, so let's do the Ilix thing after this exchange. Let's say
Yeah.
while you're cutting things off, this is what's happening. Durston looks he looks like he's trying to almost feign flattery. And you think it's maybe because he's in front of Delgros and the other men. He goes, yes, I'm an excellent werewolf hunter, so Direboar are, no match for me. But he seems a little, shaken by like you guys' prowess, because you guys handled 3 Direboar in like 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention like
And so
the grace kind of that with which we hit it, because like
Yeah.
it looks like roll backwards, fire fast, roll backwards,
Yeah.
fire
Yeah.
fast. Leopold is like bam, 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 bam.
You uppercut one's chin and
Yeah,
stunned it.
I literally did like a roll around.
You knocked one out on its feet for a second.
Yeah, I guess actually it was closer to 18 seconds because it was like 3 rounds, right?
yeah.
So
And
yeah,
So Ilix will slap that boar's ear in his hand as a trophy for him, since he did technically down one of them.
oh, thank you.
Also as a, and she'll bow her head and sort of look at the partially healed gash in her side where the thing, where one of them gored her.
When Ilix hands over the hog's ear, I'll say, I look at her and I'll say, that's not a trophy. And I go up and I grab the severed head of the Direboar whose head I chopped off. And I say, now this is a trophy worthy of
Yes.
such nobility.
It's got like
awesome.
It's got like a black puffy eye and its tongue's hanging out and a couple teeth are broken.
Yes, yes, friend Havelock. Not quite as impressive, but certainly more portable.
It's like dumping blood. Like a
Well, Duristan, if you don't take that, I'll mount it on my wall at home. Duristan says, "Yeah, that'd be fine."
a lot.
And when he says that, he goes walking past you both, toward the body of the stag, which is behind the bushes.
I guess we'll turn now that I've seen that I'm not having checked my wounds, I'm not bleeding, so I will go and take a look.
I follow behind Durston and just kind of like peer over his shoulder.
So was this a regular stag or was this like a special stag?
Oh, it's a biggin. It would have been an excellent trophy, had it not been flayed and
though.
ruined. No, it's just
Yeah,
an
goodness.
impressive
It's just
stag.
a really good one.
A dire stag.
No.
I've seen its like before.
So Durston stands over the body. Delgros kind of stands quietly behind Ilix, watching you all, and you would have heard him instruct his men to kind of fan out and just keep an eye on the surrounding area. Okay.
Now, because I'm somewhat inebriated, remind me, we just came out here to get the stag or see what happened to the stag? Or
So-
No, we came out here to track werewolves that are presumably, what are they, like attacking nearby?
So they there was, just to refresh you guys' memory, there was a hunting party that was tracking this stag, but when they came
Okay.
upon it, they found it flayed open and just kind of leaned up against a tree, like in a way that no animal would have done. And it freaked them out so much they all went running back to the lodge, where Duristan caught word of it, and he decided that it was most likely the work of werewolves. And so he
Okay.
got Delgros and some of his men to come out with him to hunt werewolves. So when the stag was missing, you guys tracked it out here where the boar had dragged it off.
Got it. Okay. So I guess examining the wounds would be medicine, and I
Heal.
am not.
Yeah.
Heal. Yeah.
I got
I'm.
you covered.
Yeah. I could. I will. I will assist. I guess.
What am I checking over, Ilix?
I suppose we're looking for evidence
we're looking
that
at the
this is in fact dead by the causes that Duristan believes.
Hmm.
So,
that's what examining it for what we think are actually werewolf wounds, or perhaps maybe it was something else that did this stag in.
Yeah. Half luck, you seem to be a better healer than me. A
My
little bit
goodness.
jealous.
he only had to roll above 10 though, because he's helping you. So 2, 4,
Oh.
6. So what, 23? Yeah, you'll make it. So Duristan's looking over the body, and he's just kind of cursing under his breath, and he happens to remark, Xenesis walks up and starts looking over the body too, and Duristan turns to you, Xenesis, once he notices that you're kind of like running your hands over the body looking for entry wounds and that kind of thing. He will say, it's pretty beaten up from the boar. I can't make heads or tails of it. But Xenesis, you discover 2 unique types of wounds on the carcass. There are tooth marks and tusk slashes of the boars, but there is also a number of bites and lacerations that presumably caused the stag's death. These are kind of around its neck. And once you point these out to Duristan, he will immediately remark that he thinks werewolves are about. But maybe let's not do exposition here. So you know that there are like tooth marks and tusk marks from the boar, but there are also a number of deep bite marks and lacerations around his neck that are a different animal altogether.
Werewolves and such are covered under, like, identifying a bite or a wound. Would that would her heal encompass that, or
Yeah.
would like survive? Okay. Do we think that these are caused by?
Xenesis doesn't have enough familiarity, I don't think, with werewolves, but she knows that there are sharp incisors of some kind that
Okay.
bit into its neck. So Xenesis, why don't you kind of roleplay out your discoveries?
Oh, well, sure looks pretty grisly, that's for sure. There are some nice gnarly bite marks, and definitely could be a werewolf, but I am not knowledgeable enough in that area of study.
Oh, these near the neck here? Is this what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do declare you're probably right. There must be werewolves about. Oh, this is so exciting.
Hmm.
Aren't you
I
excited?
raise an
Ilix-
eyebrow at his
Ilix kind of
excitement.
gives Havelock a this guy. This guy doesn't
Yeah.
have any idea what he's in on.
I'm not sure exciting is the word I'd choose.
Are you kidding? We can get another kill tonight. Well, I can get another kill. It'll probably be your first kill, from the sounds of it. But that's alright. I think we could probably set up some bait tonight and probably catch us some werewolves. Duristan, that's a terrible plan.
Yeah.
I like this Delgros guy.
What skill would I roll to know that that's a terrible plan? Probably survival or
I
something
don't think
like
you
that?
need a skill. Well, if you want to weigh your decision against a skill roll, yeah, that's fine. You can justify it however you want.
Yeah, I I think that setting bait is a good way to draw a quarry, but whether or not that's what we should do, because I don't. Delgros looks like he knows what he's doing, but Duristan is a pampered dandy, and at least as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. What knowledge check should I roll to identify him as a pampered dandy?
Nobility, of course.
Yeah, of course.
um,
The one thing anybody would ever take knowledge nobility for.
well,
All right.
I tell you what, Delgros, if you want to head back to the lodge, that's fine. Duristan sounds kind of impatient with Delgros. And then Delgros will say, "Yep, me and my men are gonna go sleep warm tonight. If you wanna have you some campouts and baited traps, be my guest." And Delgros goes walking back to the lodge, and his men follow.
Well, I assume that we will be most happy to be your hunting guides.
I signed to Havelock and say, does this guy know how to build a werewolf cage?
I don't
I don't know that he. I don't know if we're
Yeah, I'm gonna
caging them.
sign back. I don't think caging is what he has in mind.
So, I'm glad to see that you are all sticking around. Here's the plan. We're gonna set up a central camp, and then we're gonna lay baited traps around the perimeter and wait for the wolves to come. Duristan
well-
actually has some hirelings of his own. Sorry that I dragged those off the map.
Oh, okay, good. I was like very, very, very afraid for.
I
ruining
got
many
confused
seconds.
there. Yeah, Duristan is the one that hired the random folks. I got confused. Yeah. So Duristan splits his hirelings into pairs and instructs them to bait the perimeter and keep watch.
Duristan, you wouldn't happen to be the one that set that trap back along the road toward the east, would you?
You'll have to be more specific. I've set quite a few traps in my day.
This one had. Well, it had a werewolf
6
corpse hanging
crossbows?
from a tree. You had 90 crossbows.
Well, I don't know about
Mouse
90
stuck with
crossbows, but there was, yeah, I recall my last kill. Yes, that was me. That was my work. Yes. Did you like it?
All right. Sense motive.
Okay. You know he set the trap to kill werewolves?
This is legit. He actually did it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, that guy definitely was not a werewolf. That was a dude. That was an unlucky fellow. But I guess.
Oh, okay. I see what you're getting at. Okay.
Yeah, I'm implying that this guy is fucking incompetent. So if he actually did catch that werewolf, then it wasn't a werewolf. I'm gonna say, oh, well, I seems to have worked before, I suppose. In the past, how has this played out?
Well, generally they fall victim to the trap, and the wolfsbane weakens them, and then we can just kill them while they're helpless. It's quite simple, really.
Oh,
Since Flea is super curious about the wolfsbane, because he doesn't know much about it and he's planning on cultivating some, he asks Xenesis to speak for him, and he asks about how the wolfsbane affects werewolves and like.
Well, I'm sorry if I misled you, my boy. We don't have any wolfsbane with us here tonight. I just brought the silver bear traps with me. Well, werewolf traps.
didn't we bring some wolfsbane from that?
We do. Last time.
I have 2 bulbs of like the wolfsbane plant, which I could at one point maybe plant and cultivate, but
not
And I
ready-made.
yeah, correct. But also, it's an ingested poison,
Yeah.
not a contact poison. So I don't know how tipping it or like using it on like a weapon would really work.
Well,
Darp would have to explain that.
the
better.
wolfsbane trap that I set, I feel was quite clever. There's a warning to them not to mess with yours truly. But I thought it was quite clever, but it did take some time to set up, and I don't know that we really want to spend all evening setting up similar apparatus. So I think the silver traps and some hunks of meat will suffice. When he says that, if you look at his henchmen, they are indeed pulling out some large silver-teethed traps and some large hunks of meat as well.
Well, that actually doesn't sound like the worst plan I've ever heard. I don't know exactly how I feel about catching a werewolf, but I suppose if they've been menacing the folk in the countryside, that is my job.
We determined
They've
that
been doing that.
we determined that they're evil. So I mean, that would be one impetus.
Yeah.
Because I remember not knowing whether or not werewolves were capital E evil, and apparently they are. So
Yeah, anyone with the curse of lycanthropy they have their alignment shifted to evil.
Yeah, okay.
which
I would
is
have no qualms.
sad.
My please qualms, which he will probably sign to have like I'm guessing like they're setting up this camp. Is anything else happening, or is it just like for the next few hours we're setting up this camp sort of thing?
Say that again?
I'm assuming because like we're setting up a base camp is what he said. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that like for like the next hour or so we're just like going about setting up this camp.
Yeah, getting campfire wood and that kind of thing. Yeah.
While we're doing that, I'm gonna pull Havelock aside and sign to him and say, I don't think that this guy killed a werewolf, which means that guy we found was not one.
Well, he seems to be telling the truth. I wasn't able to detect any falsehoods, and I'm normally quite good at that.
But if he killed a normal human and posed it as a werewolf...
Yes, that is disconcerting. He did seem to... I thought we found some evidence that that guy was a werewolf when we inspected his body. Like,
He did.
Did we? Okay. So he was actually a werewolf.
He was abnormally hairy, and he had lengthy teeth and
Okay.
ears.
Okay. So this guy apparently never mind legit killed a werewolf.
So it was a hirsute vampire elf, is what you're saying.
I mean, I guess the question
Occam's
to me
razor
then is like,
suggests.
yeah, the question to me is like, was it worded in that way to hint to us that it was a werewolf, or was it worded that way to, as a red herring, to make us think that the guy looked like he could be a werewolf?
I don't think that's for us to know. It's for Darp
Yeah,
to...
I think so. So I'm gonna sign.
But given the
to,
available information, Plea actually would believe that I was, because like I had forgotten that he was hairy. I just thought he was like
Yeah.
in human form, and so we assumed he was a werewolf because he
No,
was
I
set in the-
believe
found in the werewolf.
Xenesis actually identified him as likely being a lycanthrope.
I
'cause-
remember that.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
forgot that because it's been
Yeah,
so
no,
long.
that's fair. It's
Yeah.
been a couple months.
So I take back my thought that he maybe just like killed a normal human and posed it as a werewolf.
I
in a
know. I think
werewolf trap.
that's a fair thought. I'm gonna stroke
Yeah.
my chin and say, well, I don't have all that much experience with werewolves. Old Uncle Fitz Jacob told me some stories about dealing with werewolves. None of them seemed pleasant or simple, so it does seem a bit odd that this fellow might be as accomplished a werewolf slayer as that, but I don't really see any evidence to the contrary.
It seems whatever accomplishments he does have, he probably had a good deal of help.
Yes, I wonder if that hunter had more to do with it than Duristan is letting on.
Alright, I signed to my friends that it looks like we're on our own for the evening, and if we're
Yes.
to survive the night, and if they are indeed baiting werewolves to our location, we should best be on our guard.
Well,
Yes,
there's one
indeed.
thing I know for sure if Duristan seems set to bait these werewolves with or without us, if we're not with him, I think our entry to the lodge is a dubious prospect at best. So I think we need to
It profits
help
us
him
not
out.
to hamper him.
Yes, I think perhaps we ought to rely on our ranger's lead on this one.
Werewolves are somewhat outside my experience, but I've hunted many dangerous things since joining my illustrious company. I doubt that they will prove much of a bother. However, I would argue that we not totally encircle our camp with traps. Or not with bait, is what I mean to say. Perhaps we should keep the bait at a safe distance from the camp. We want to know where they're coming from.
Yes, I'd like to get the drop on them.
Yes. The fewer ways they can be coming from, the better.
I nod Alex at that suggestion, and then go off to Xenesis and Leopold and sign to them and say, Xenesis, you should probably keep that shape-shifting bane dagger of yours handy this evening.
I'm actually gonna go up. Can I look at this rock here? Does that
That's
look
what
like
I
we
was
could
thinking
set
as
up?
well.
We could set up a
Oh yeah, actually that's
watch
yeah.
spot right on top of it.
Totes.
I would warn against the campfire up top. It's too visible.
Oh.
They would
That's a
see
good
the
point.
campfire and know that a trap would be nearby.
Wouldn't it also
is
be
best
too
that we-
windy?
It is, well, that depends on the weather. It would be best if the campfire was concealed as much as possible. What is knowledge about them? Is that dungeoneering or nature or
It's
what are
arcana.
they?
Lycans.
They're either monstrous, so it's Arcana, or Dungeoneering, I'd guess.
I got
Unless
rolls.
they're
I can do
freakishly
it.
nature.
It would part of it would be nature, I think, but hold on.
I'll look it up.
They are humanoids, so it
Nature,
should
monstrous
be nature.
humanoids.
Yep.
Well, then I'll roll a knowledge.
Oh yes, come, gather round. And you see Duristan start counting you. So 5, yes. And then he reaches into his bag, and you hear some clinking. And he pulls out, kind of like in one fist, like between each finger, there's a crystal glass. I guess they're little shot glasses, kind of. They're snifter. I'm not super familiar with those.
Snifters, so brandy
It's like a
snifters
small
are
glass.
very small, very rounded glasses.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought, size-wise. So he hands you each one, and he says, "Hold steady. This is very expensive." And you see him uncork a bottle of what looks like extremely fancy brandy.
Fuck yes! Now we're talking Duristan.
How much is this brandy worth?
Oh my god!
You know this.
This is a very important net 20, guys.
You know this is an extremely rare Ustalavic brandy, and it's most likely priceless.
Holy shit!
Holy. I
is
rolled
like
that 20 and don't
a
have a price value. That's impressive.
A single barrel. This is the
Yeah.
only.
This was only
once,
made like 1
1,000
year.
years ago.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he pours you each a glass, and then he says, "I would love to hear some of your adventures. I myself have killed 3 werewolves now, and I've got myself this lovely scar here." And he pulls down his vest a little bit and reveals a pretty strange looking brown scar that kind of curls around in a circle. And he says, "This here gives me immunity to the curse of lycanthropy."
I was gonna say, oh God, please don't tell us we have to kill you.
It was given to me by a local witch, and if you want, I could probably arrange for you to have some as well. If you're going to be werewolf hunting, I suggest it.
Yeah.
It's a spiral, right?
Yeah,
that
kind
what
of. Yeah.
Okay, so but it's not like a phrasmic spiral.
No, it's
Okay.
it's mostly linear with kind of a little curl on the end. I guess more like a cat's tail type of thing.
Okay.
Does that just look like a regular scar to me?
No,
particularly
it
awful
looks like a shitty tattoo.
Oh, good.
It looks like
It's
somebody
barbed wire
just
shaped.
kind of scarred him intentionally without using ink. So just not really like a burn, but like scratched it real bad and then made sure the wound got infected and scarred really bad.
I like imagining
Cool.
that he got like this is the equivalent of like the Asian characters
I was about to say. With the-
tattoo.
Well, you don't know.
Wisdom.
You don't know if it was effective or not.
Can I roll to see if that's like a known symbol?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
I don't know what that would be.
I would take Knowledge Arcana or History or Spellcraft or Religion, maybe?
Yeah, I think religion would be what we would go for.
Um,
I'm gonna go for Arcana.
Your religious knowledge, you think pretty long and hard about this scar while everyone's chatting, and you can't think of any religious accounts of people being able to like block or make themselves immune to the curse of lycanthropy. So from your knowledge, you can't think of anything that would like give validity to this claim.
Yeah, and I've been like a monk at the monastery of Erasma for all my
Yeah.
life.
So
Someone had that idea, then we would know about it.
Ilix is like rebelling against their terrible hunting practice. Because they're doing everything wrong. And so she has like this like nervous sort of energy, like I want to tell this guy what an imbecile he's being, but we really need this to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can like
because-
without Ilix saying anything, if I can sense that. I probably can.
Yeah, I don't know that she's got the like. She's probably like keeps shifting her weight back and forth and like checking her arrows
Semi-paranoid.
and like and then sort of like looking at the fire and then do they still set traps all around us?
Yeah,
Or
they're a
did
ways off into the woods now, though.
Okay.
Can't
Well, at least
see
they're
them
a
from
ways
camp
off from
anymore.
our camp. Yeah, at least they're some ways away. I think probably with my knowledge nature, I know that they can, that werewolves probably have senses enough to make us from miles away.
Oh yeah.
So, like, she's frustrated, and she's gonna like drain the alcohol and sort of shove her glass at Xenesis while he's doing his talking, and then say, "I need to check the surroundings."
Oh, okay.
Please.
And will
Oh, no need. My men can handle it.
I signed
Oh.
Durston as if he understands that that's just kind of how she is.
Why are
Hoping that one of my
you?
friends will-
What is this hand motion?
He's seen me do it literally since we met.
Well, but he might not have been paying attention.
Fair enough. But like Xenesis did speak for me earlier.
yeah.
Mm,
I imagine Xenesis would probably relay the same thing, or somebody would interpret it.
Durston, don't mind Ilix. She's kind of antisocial.
Oh
but,
well, I'd certainly like to hear some of her hunting stories.
Oh, I think it's more if she feels up to it.
So I'm going to get up there and I'm going to sort of do a perception check, hopefully aided by my height advantage.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
And
Holy
Oh yeah.
hell.
Yeah, you can
Um,
see quite a ways, but from this vantage point, it's mostly treetops because you're in a
Yeah.
forest.
yeah. Do I see anything that indicates, so far as like topographically, what direction things might come from? Like, oh, if something was to come, it would most likely be, from the north or the south or the anything that
Well,
sort of.
you're in sort of a ravine. It's not very deep.
Okay.
So I would say probably from the northeast or the southwest.
Okay. So that direction or that direction. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay. Okay.
Which I think should make sense just looking at the map.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Duristan, don't be off put by our elven ranger friend. She never likes to tell stories unless everyone around her is good and drunk. And
Well,
I'm gonna
then she
I'm gonna
should
toast
come
him.
on back and have some more brandy. And then he before you can get it up to your lips, he like abruptly grabs the bottle and shoves it at you and pours more in your glass.
Excellent. I'm gonna enjoy some brandy, dog. Thank you very much.
Genesis
I
is
think-
very hesitant to drink too much because she feels as though
Where?
we're hunting werewolves. We shouldn't get too tipsy.
Yeah, I don't want to get drunk, but
Please, gonna.
Oh, it
sniff
helps
this
with the
brandy.
fear,
Sure.
young lady.
Duristan?
Yes, sir.
Well, actually, out of game. Darp, how long has it been?
Since Delgros left, it's probably been like an hour and a half, maybe two.
Where?
got a little camp
Duristan,
set
where are
up.
your men?
They're off setting up traps, of course. It's a rather long process.
Leopold, don't worry. Just chill out and have some of this fine brandy.
I think I'll pass.
And of
Please.
course, they'll be standing guard to alert us if we catch any game. I
I'm going
pay
to
them
look
good
at-
money for these things.
The mention of that, I'm going to look at Havelock like do we really trust these guards?
Havelock turns to you, Leopold, and he says,
I just want to point out of character though, if they're being paid to help Duristan, they're probably not getting paid until he gets back alive. So it would absolutely be in their best interest to do whatever they can to keep him
If he's
alive.
intelligent.
Yeah, but are they terrible?
It
I
wouldn't
mean,
matter.
As far as he's claimed, he's killed 3 werewolves, so it's going
Yeah.
good for him so far.
But like, Leopold's mistrust in guards is absolutely unholy mispaid. So like, is what I'm
hey.
pointing out and would sign to you across the fire. I am sniffing my brandy knowing that it is truly priceless brandy, and I am sipping it very, very slowly.
very quietly.
Yeah, you don't hear noise.
Yeah, I am savoring every mouthful, and I'm gonna go. Hey, check out this trick for hunting werewolves. Ready? And I tap the side of my temple like a button and turn on detect evil, and then just do like a 360. I'm like, yeah, no evil around. We're good for now.
Oh yeah, I forgot that your eyes glow white when you do that.
Makes like a CAT scan sound.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
You'll have to teach me how you do that. That's a hoot. That's great.
It's easy. Just grow up in a family of inquisitors. Spend your whole life on the road hunting monsters.
Monsters, you say? What manner of monsters? And he takes another drink.
Ghouls, boar. Recently, you might remember that one. Golems, aberrant Promethei, dogs, like mutant
Crocodiles.
dogs. Yeah, caiman. Ergothoan things.
We're actually quite good friends with Bart.
I don't feel compelled to mention that at the moment.
I mean, he doesn't know who Bart is, so it's fine.
I tell Havelock, I just stand across the fire to Havelock and tell him how I got the ghost brand.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. How
Do a
did
show.
Oh my!
the ghost
I forget
brand?
the story.
Well,
I
that-
have a brand on my
The
chest
the
from
branding
one of the
irons
haunts.
that like
I do believe
Flew
that
out of-
Oh,
requires
yeah.
some more brandy! And he reaches across the fire and hands the bottle to you.
I
Durston, you're a
still
good
haven't drank
friend to
mine,
have.
but I just like hold the brandy. I don't give it back unless he
Ilix-
asks for it.
Ilix is going to quietly talk to Plea, saying, I don't see anything dangerous in our immediate area, but it is like that whatever comes our way will come from either the southeast, or, sorry, either the southwest or the northeast, given the arrangement of this ravine.
I nod to Ilix and say I'll keep an eye out on the southeast if you this rock in between us.
Yes, I plan on staying at the top of this outcropping.
Excellent. Make
It's
a
the
noise
best
if you need me.
vantage point.
Okay. So eventually the bottle makes its way back to Durston, and at this point,
Oh,
there's
Did he ask for it?
yeah, he'll eventually
Okay.
take it back.
Okay.
And you guys exchange stories for another half hour or so. And there's a good amount of laughter, and Durston's fairly entertaining and seems absolutely
Ilix is
enthralled in all of your adventures.
Ilix is non-participatory.
Yeah, he keeps kind of prompting you to give you an opportunity to speak. What do you?
I think she'll mention a few like mundane things, but most of her energy is devoted to checking her equipment, making sure her silver arrows are like right there in the front, and that nobody's getting too terribly drunk, which means that she's pretty concerned about Havelock.
I was gonna say, did she like interfere with my
No,
my
she doesn't
inability?
interfere, but she keeps like her gaze keeps like lingering on you, and she doesn't know what to do.
If Ilix had stern gaze as a class feature, she'd be using it right now.
Yeah,
Curse
she's-
my crippling addiction.
She's not. I don't think she's necessarily. Oh God, I don't think she's necessarily judging you, but she's just like really worried that that you're not taking it seriously. Like she's concerned that you're going to compromise yourself, and then something terrible is going to happen.
How drunk is Havelock from my perspective?
Dude is shit faced.
Okay.
I would guess I've had like two glasses
Two
of
brandies.
it. Yeah.
I just want to point out also that like brandy is distilled wine. It is very, very strong. The reason why the snifter glasses are so small is because being in a room with casks of brandy will inebriate you.
Yeah, it's very strong. Yeah.
Just being in the room, it will
What
permeate your
in terms
skin
of
and
proof?
get you drunk.
What are we talking about?
Like
More than wine, less than moonshine.
no,
Yeah.
more than moonshine. Like
Oh yeah.
Moonshine?
hundreds of times more powerful than moonshine. Like
It's like fucking Everclear.
it's super strong alcohol. Like
But it's good.
it's like the best thing. You're
Tanner,
ever gonna
you've
taste.
had brandy.
I'm sure I have, but
Do you remember when we were in Oregon and we went to that little bed and breakfast? They had a little bottle of brandy
Oh,
there
yeah,
for
that
us.
stuff was
That was
stout.
awful.
Yeah, that was good shit.
Yeah.
So 70 to 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In real
Is-
life, I actually fucking hate brandy.
It's so
Can't
nasty.
stand it.
So
I can't
fucking
stand it.
nasty.
I love whiskey, can't stand brandy.
I mean, what I'm drinking right now is 80 proof, so
If you ever have the chance to be in a room with the casks, though, because like brandy has a scent that is just
yeah,
to die for, and like if you
Oh, I'm
walk
sure
into
it's
the
good.
room with
probably
casks,
literally.
you can feel the alcohol enter your skin, and
You're
it's
Like
actually-
just pickling.
You're actually greenhousing yourself with booze.
Yep.
Sounds great.
it's amazing.
So yeah, you guys spend a little bit of time exchanging stories, and Duriston's like really excited and hanging on your every word, and he listens very intently to all of your adventures, or
And
whatever
then
you're
we
willing
got
to
to
share.
the other side, and Zinnis has told us she had water walking the whole time.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Ilix
Here, have some
is doing
brandy.
this. Ilix like snaps an arrow.
I was about to say,
By
Alex
accident.
walks off and kills us.
Genesis chirps up and says, "Well, it was for team bonding, and look how good we are together." And then she sips.
Sips or gulps?
Probably gulps.
I'll nudge Zinnis with my elbow and say, "Oh, we've all had little fun with the group."
And it's at
From
this
time to
moment that the pleasantries are interrupted by a short, horrid snarl that pierces the night, followed by an extremely loud, smothered scream.
Which direction was that?
It is to the northeast. It is this way.
Aha! I'm gonna stand up and cast.
I look at Ilix and just kind of go like, "You with me?"
She'll give you a sharp nod.
How tall is this
And-
rock?
And she's got a.
Hold on. If we're gonna
Okay,
roleplay,
let's
let's
back-
not move,
Okay. Yeah.
because I can't do both at once. So let's go ahead and roleplay.
How tall is this rock, for one?
I'd say it's like 1 story.
Okay.
Are you gonna Naruto jump?
Think about it, but probably not.
I'm gonna stand up and say, "Thank you for the brandy, sir." And I'm gonna cast Keen Edge on my on Gabby's greatsword and say, "I believe the bait has been a little bit more successful than we'd intended."
Yes, that didn't sound good, did it? And he reaches down and picks up his bow, and he wobbles a little bit. Because I'm fine. And then he'll start to walk with you all.
I'm 32.
Ilix is going to like say something under her breath in Elven, which is whatever the Elven word is for amateur, or
Isn't
or
he Elven?
child.
Before you say that,
I don't think
Mayfly.
he's Elven.
wasn't he? What race is he?
He's human.
He's human.
Was he half elf, wasn't he? I
Stand
could've sworn
by.
he was half elf.
His
Is
picture
Durson
just
half elf?
looks elven.
He is
so-
a human aristocrat.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
He does have kind of an odd shaped head.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will grant
Yeah.
you that.
That's why I wanted to make sure, because like we definitely forgot what race he was.
He probably knows Elven anyway, but I'm whispering under my breath and
Well, he
Uh-oh.
has a bow, so he does seem like an elf.
he's also next to
Racist.
Havelock, and Havelock might be an elf. So
Please gonna move
therefore-
over
Yeah.
here.
by the transitive property.
Havelock's
Okay.
race is elf? Question mark.
Leopold, as you round the corner, you see a rather grisly scene laid out before you. There is the body of one of the hirelings on the ground with his neck just fucking open, and there's just blood everywhere. And that's not even the worst part. Standing over him is a pretty significantly large werewolf with a second hireling in her mouth.
She got some wolf tits.
Sure.
Does a lycanthrope have the
Oh my
human number of
God.
tits or the wolf number of tits?
That's for me to
Questions for another
that's for
time,
me
I
to
feel.
know and you to find out.
That's
Yeah.
for you to roll a perception check on.
I'm defending bone as well.
Oh,
God
Jesus.
damn it.
Yeah, he gets a defending bone whenever he sees those 12 lycanthrope tits.
I'm gonna say, Durston, perhaps we should try a hunting technique that I've learned in my travels. It's where the bowman just stays behind me.
So once she actually does see you, Leopold, standing there, and Ilix, and she'll drop the body out of her mouth, and it'll just kind of flop onto the ground with a pretty uncomfortable ragdoll motion. And she'll go, "Halt! Come no closer."
common then. Okay.
Why are you in our territory?
I look back at Ilix and then look forward. Well, it's kind of complicated.
Anybody else chiming in? Or is that it?
Can we hear it?
Oh, yeah. She's got
Oh.
an extremely booming voice.
Okay, I didn't know if I'm gonna slowly approach, making sure I'm getting no closer.
Yeah, 35
Then,
feet. You can
yeah.
hear her for sure.
Yeah.
Ilix is not going to say anything. She's got her bow ready. It's like
Yeah.
all she needs to do is draw.
Please,
I'm
it's not
going
saying
to.
a word.
I'm going to ready to dodge out of the way in case it tries to leap at me, or like charge me or something. But I'm getting ready.
Complicated isn't good enough. You're a liar. You don't belong here.
We are not liars. We've discovered activity near the lodge, and we came to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Enough!
Werewolf activity.
Your explanations are meaningless. Go tell whoever sent you to stay out of wolf affairs. Let him know that his dealings with Mathis and the Silverhide Pack do not sit well with the other tribes of this wood. There shall be much blood spilled between our kin before a Silverhide Pack Lord sits upon high throne. Mathis the Betrayer shall never claim the title, and you and yours... And should you and yours continue to support him, the wrath of the wolf pack shall fall upon him as well. Now leave our territory and return to your cozy wooden den, or share the fate of these poor little sheep.
I have an absolute face of what on my face?
Yeah, Ilix kind of looks like that was a whole lot of exposition.
Yeah.
Something that we have no part in.
Twang, twang, twang.
So you said something about Mathis and a clan?
This is genuine ignorance.
Hold on, I
We
got brownie in
literally-
my mouth.
Mm-hmm. No, take your time. That fellow doesn't appear to be going anywhere.
He's not using that limb. That's fine.
Not sure what part you got of him that's brown, but
I'm sure.
I elbow Ilix.
There's a man murdered here.
Another werewolf emerges from the bushes. And she seems to be ignoring what you're saying. And she's just kind of staring you down fiercely. She lowers her front paws and kind of her cackles. What's the is it cackles on the back? Hackles. Sorry about that. Yeah,
Also
her
not shackles.
her hackles kind of stand up, and she just starts snarling at you.
I stare back even more fiercely, and I'll say, look here. We've had encroaching attacks on our lands, and we came to get to the bottom of this issue. We have no interest in...
She interrupts you by throwing back her head and howling. And as she does so, there is howls from close by, and then farther, and then farther, and it seems to echo throughout the entire wood surrounding you.
Please,
As I was
Booze.
saying, we were just being on our way. We have
Lee
no...
moves very swiftly over to Xenesis, grabs her by the shoulder, and signs, "We
Oh.
should leave."
Oh,
Duristan
crap.
approaches you guys from behind and says, yeah, I am not so sure that we're gonna be up for this. I'm gonna be leaving now. And he starts walking back toward the lodge. He walks backward at first until he's past the rock, and then he kind of starts running.
Pussy.
I'm gonna look at Ilix, and give her a look that I hope conveys, yeah, let's GTFO.
Ilix, without taking her eyes off the werewolf, is giving you a yeah, let's nod.
I grab it, Xenesis by the wrist and start pulling her very
Back
quickly
away.
back towards the lodge.
Luckily, the gun isn't. The
Oh,
gun can still
kid.
stay in my hand.
Ilix
Get
is
the
going
fuck
to
outta
like, very I guess not ceremoniously, but like very obviously take the arrow out of her bow and return it to her quiver, while stepping backwards for a bit and then following suit.
I pause
Talk
only
about
only long
unprepared.
enough to grab the rest of the brandy
Okay.
and then run.
So
You said okay. Now I have priceless brandy. Yes.
no, Duristan had it.
50 gold pieces a glass.
You could charge thousands of gold pieces per glass.
I mean,
Yeah, but
well,
it's priceless. I
it's
mean,
priceless brandy, but it's probably not worth a
it's
year's
easy.
salary.
I mean, it's easy to get 50 gold pieces rather than 1,000.
I know. I'm just like go to the right places. Like go to rich areas.
I don't
and
want to
start
have to
selling
go to the
brand.
right places. I want the expedient experience. This pathetic human brandy will dry up before I'm even halfway over with my life. Like,
You might, for all
It
I
means
think
nothing.
it's 1,000-year-old brandy.
yeah, and I'll live to
Okay.
probably be 700. And it's probably well past its prime.
So you guys catch up to Duristan just outside of the clearing, and the howling has ceased as you got farther away. The werewolves did not pursue you, much to your celebration, I'm sure.
Relief, at least.
Yeah. And a couple of the hirelings did survive, and they are equally shaken. And you're not sure, by the looks of them, if they'll ever come out again.
It seems that we don't know quite as much about the situation in these parts as we thought.
I signed to Ilix. Who knew that being a werewolf could be so political?
Yes, far more socially advanced than I would have ever thought.
Oh yes, they've got several tribes. Duristan overhears Ilix's half of the conversation.
Yes, I think we've met all of them.
Oh no, certainly not. I don't think
You mean
I've
to
even
say
met
that
all
was
of
only
them.
one?
They seem to think that we were part of another tribe.
Yes,
Or another
I did hear
clan?
something about Silverhide. Is that what she said? I'm not familiar with that one.
And Mathis the Betrayer.
Yes, he sounds like a bad dude.
I mean, yeah, his name's the Betrayer. It seems very short-sighted on his parents'
You
part
don't
to
know-
name him that.
I am
You don't normally
wondering
get
if
that title
he
by being a
knows
good
more
person.
than he's saying. That's
yes,
the sense
I'm
motive.
wondering why he would lead us
Yeah.
into the... Knowing what you do about werewolf social structure, why would you would lead us into their lands to hunt them?
Oh, I had no idea that would belong to anyone. Sorry.
I'm
I
guessing
assume
he's being truthful.
Yeah.
Okay.
He knows that
Also,
there's
Jinx
multiple
ran away
tribes,
from Soda.
but he doesn't know anything like other than that. He just knows that they're like they look different and they behave different.
What was the tribe's name?
Silverhide was the one that she mentioned. The she-wolf.
Yes, she didn't seem overly fond of talking, but she let us leave with our lives. Seems to be a little less characteristic of werewolves than in the
Well,
legends that I'd heard.
She did kill 2 of my men, let's be fair.
Mm.
That is true.
Perhaps if we
Poor
had been
chaps.
more poorly disposed, none of us would have made it out.
Yes, perhaps we were too much of an
Yes.
inconvenience for her. I don't know who she meant us to deliver a message to, though. That's unclear to
Here's
me.
a question. Who did she say?
Is it possible that we could get her dialogue in a handout? Because
Sure.
that was
It was a lot.
That was a
bam.
mouthful.
She said a lot of things I don't know anything about.
Well, I'll
I've
give you
only had,
the
like,
I'll give you the paste it
4
from the
rum
book.
and cokes.
I did take some liberties there to shorten it, but yeah.
Okay. Mathis Mordernacht.
Yeah, I opted not to try to pronounce the last name during the tirade.
Mm-hmm.
Death Knight.
I wonder if Mordernacht is related to the Mortem Death family.
So we can assume that Mathis is a Silverhide.
Yeah.
Wait.
This Mathis Mordernacht appears to want the throne, the wolf throne, or the high throne of the werewolves. Seems
They
to
have
be
a
regarded as a betrayer and is making dealings with some. I wondered if he's making dealings with someone at the lodge.
Or at least some band of non-werewolves.
Yes.
Perhaps the Whispering Way has its fingers in these affairs as well?
I probably wouldn't doubt that, actually.
Don't think anything is beyond them.
Especially considering they not only know of the lodge, they call it a den.
Well, I
wonder
knew
if
the
they
werewolves
thought we
were.
were the Whispering Way.
I knew the werewolves were riled up about something, but I wasn't really sure why until now.
Oh, and I'm careful not to say anything about the Whispering Way within earshot of, what's his dick? Duristan.
I know they hold council sometimes at a place they call High Throne, but I don't really know what they do there.
Do you know where it is? I sign and ask somebody to translate.
Yes, it's at an old. There's an old temple to. I want to say the goddess Desna, and it was called Stairs of the Moon at one point.
How fitting.
I find it interesting, out of character, that they would have High Throne at a temple to Desna.
Mm-hmm.
That seems so weird.
Mm-hmm.
There's
probably something in the library about it, if you wanted to do some research.
I think that would be wise.
That would be
I'm
wise.
not wholly familiar with Desna.
Nor am I.
Wait. I don't have a character on this map, so I'm going to my character sheet. One sec.
That's fine.
Because I know a lot about Pharasma, but let's see how much I know about Desna. Damn it.
Very little. You know that she's the goddess of luck and travel.
Do I know that she's chaotic good?
Yeah.
I will then voice at least that. I find it interesting that the werewolves would make High Throne at a... Oh. Let's see what Havlock says.
Yes, it does seem a bit odd. She's the goddess of the heavens. And luck and travel, and not certain why she's got affiliation with werewolf.
Perhaps it's an ongoing desecration. Perhaps they do it to spite the god.
I think
It doesn't
Flea would
seem
be
lucky
upset
that-
by that.
Yeah. It doesn't seem... one wouldn't consider themselves lucky to be struck with the affliction of lycanthropy.
No. Perhaps they feel that she's a salve for their affliction.
Mayhap.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
The waters run much deeper here than we heretofore suspected.
Internally, I'm kind of wondering. It's like they know that these lycanthropes are organized. They clearly speak. They have their own dealings, and yet they have parties going out to hunt and kill them. They wonder why they act in aggression. I kind of wonder about the I'm kind of wondering about the lodge's dealings, but I don't want to say anything around this guy.
Desna and her faithful hold creatures that symbolize freedom and the night sky as beautiful and holy. So that's
There
probably
you go.
why.
Nah. The freedom of being out wild or whatever. As a like it through.
The
But yeah,
moon
no,
would
I
be a
would also
salient
think the
feature of
night
the night
sky
sky.
would be yeah.
Yeah, that too.
I ask somebody to translate as I talk to Duristan again and say, if your library at the lodge has resources that we could use to investigate this further, then perhaps you might be able to allow us entry, and maybe we can get to the bottom of this and
Oh,
help you
certainly.
find a werewolf.
We did fulfill our obligation to you, as is.
Absolutely. I think that can be arranged. And as he says that, you guys see the wall of the lodge come into view.
So, hang on, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name.
Duristan.
Duristan. I assume you'll be holding up on your promise for letting us in. It wasn't exactly successful, but we did honor our end of
That's
the deal.
what we just talked about.
You missed it, bud.
I look at Duristan and I say,
I go to the bathroom for 2 seconds.
I assume that you'll be holding up your end of the deal about letting
Oh
us
my
into the lodge.
god, I'm gonna murder you in your sleep.
Yep.
Yeah, so you guys get up to the lodge. Let me scroll down. This is the worst PDF on the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
This is by far the worst one I've ever been in, because it's just so fragmented. It's stupid. I had to do a lot
You did say that
of
at the
reading.
beginning, right?
Yep. There's been a lot of complaints about how this one was organized.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys already did the werewolves. Let me actually jot down experience from that. Okay. You find your way to the lodge gates, and Bellic greets you. Hello there again.
Greetings.
Duristan just, well, Bellic opens up the gates, and Duristan walks on through, and he'll say, well, come on in. I'm gonna have to take my leave from you now. I need some rest. That was quite the ordeal. Good night. And he heads up to the lodge.
Oh, not as he leaves.
And Bellic, the little halfling guy, he looks around at all of you, and he is holding a silver tray with hand-carved wooden mugs containing a steaming beverage. And he wears what looks like an apologetic grin. And he says, please accept my most sincere apologies for my inappropriate behavior earlier. I was not informed of your coming, and I acted hastily on behalf of the lodge warden. I can assure you that you will suffer no further ill treatment during your stay at Ascanor Lodge.
I bow really low to the halfling.
Apology accepted, my good man. You can't be condemned for taking your duties too seriously.
Okay.
Nothing a free drink wouldn't clear up.
I'm kind of taking in the building at the moment.
Yeah, I guess this is the first time we're actually like seeing the lodge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
like,
we were behind a gate.
how tall is the post around this? It's like it's not a
Yes.
4 foot high wall, I assume.
I
right?
don't remember.
I mean, I would probably assume it obscures most of the building. It has to be pretty big.
I'd say
it's
probably
got-
at least 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because those
pretty
look
tall.
like
Palisade
I can
wall.
jump
Yeah,
there.
palisades. That's what I was looking for.
I think. Yeah. Okay. So he'll give you the tray. Well, he'll just let you guys take the mugs. When you kind of smell it, it smells a bit like a hot chocolate, almost.
Except it's coffee.
If it's convenient for you, my master would request the company of your presence in the morning for a brief introduction and to offer his apologies.
Where will we be meeting him?
Am I to understand that his master is not Duristan, correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure I-
Duristan doesn't work for the lodge. He's just here
yeah,
as a guest.
he's a guest. Okay.
Mhm. Of course, that would be fine.
Excellent, excellent. I will see you to your rooms now, and in the morning I will come get you with some coffee. How does that sound?
That sounds even better.
Okay. Let me see if I can locate your rooms. God, there's so much shit. I'm probably gonna have to open the map here. One moment.
Take time.
I don't have that PDF open. Mistakes were made.
Unforgivable.
You can only have so many PDFs open on your desktop before things start to get just as crazy as if they were in an actual book.
Yeah, it's true.
Having
where the
3 open
fuck's-
for Dark Heresy is very cumbersome to keep track of, and I have everything bookmarked in them.
Yeah.
Can't you?
And
add
you're a
bookmarks
player.
to a PDF.
And I'm a player, yeah. You can, but like, there's only so many bookmarks you can add before they stop being useful too. Like,
I don't know. I feel just having them as like a point of reference, just like I don't know. Hopping around all over the place, like physically going through the PDF, has to be fucking awful. Especially if you're looking for one, like you said, it's fragmented. So like it's probably like one paragraph on one page that goes into 2 pages down or something. Like another event.
Yeah, and there's 3 floors to this building too, which makes it worse. Stairwells, kitchens, dining rooms, guest bedrooms. I think that works. Yeah. Ascanor Lodge has 7 rustically, though luxuriously appointed private rooms for the use of its guests. Each contains a bed, a chest, a desk, a chair, and a fireplace. And with the exception of one room, they all have exterior balconies as well. You're each given a key to your room, which has a wooden door. It's not like an impenetrable fortress or anything. But let me point you to that locale. So, Bellic will lead you inside. And then to the staircase, which I think would be D15. Yep. Ha. Damn, I'm good. All right. So yeah, he leads you over to this staircase on the right. And once you go up that, then I will transform the map. Cynesis, are you dead?
This might be the single
No.
largest building that that Ilix has ever been in.
Probably. Yeah. So up here are some rooms. You are welcome to pick them.
Ilix wants one with a balcony,
They all have balconies.
except one.
I'll pick the one adjoining Please room, I think.
Is this
Get
room
out here,
available?
Ilix.
Jeez.
Apparently,
You
Xenesis
don't
is
want
sleeping with Leopold.
Sorry.
a pretty girl hanging out in your room? Fine. Fine.
Actually, Leopold, that room will be occupied. Sorry.
Okay. I was just looking for one with a desk, so probably
Yeah,
this
that's fair. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
figure out which room is which.
I think this is the first time in his entire life that Leo's had a room to himself.
Wow.
Oh, okay, here we go. Here's some empty rooms. 26B and 26E are both open. The rest of them are taken, so you'll actually have to share.
Damn it.
There are NPCs actually. Because in addition to making this a giant fucking building, there's a whole fucking soap opera of characters.
one.
Yay! I'm looking forward
It's
to
Days
drama.
of Our
Court.
Lives, but with more death.
Doesn't
Yeah.
that sound like an awesome show? Just
It's deaths of our lives.
Okay, so
Days
Yeah.
of our death.
Days of Our Death.
Days of Our
Come on,
Deaths.
okay. I need the pointer. There we go. This room here is open, so the one that you have chosen, Havelock. And 26E is this one. That one's open as well.
Guys and girls.
It's only one bed. Maybe we should make it guys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Please, you're still lusting for Jones.
Um,
Oh, yeah, you know what? That is a good time. You explain it to Alex. I'll explain it to these two.
Bellic will take you to 26B
What?
here, and he'll say, "This room was originally for Mr. Draven, but obviously he's dead now since you found his invitation. So I suppose there's no harm in renting it out to you. We can discuss payment later. And you all seem quite tired this evening."
Yes, we had a trying evening.
Yeah, speak no more
We've
of
had
it.
a trying fortnight. In fact, we've had a trying year.
Oh, that's a real shame. And he goes walking off to escort the women to their room.
Okay.
So when I close the door, I spin around to Havelock and Plate. I'm like, you guys aren't going to believe the shit that's been going down.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Plea is very
What do you
confused
mean?
because he's like, I totally remember the werewolf.
Yes,
and
we were
everything."
there.
Oh,
We
no.
were.
Is there a chair in this room? Because I'm just going to pull a chair and sit down.
I immediately, where I'm standing, go like sit cross-legged in Indian style, like plop
Racist.
right down.
So,
I will sit in the lotus position.
Possibly racist?
It's literally a yoga pose. it
so
Question mark?
trying to fan the flames, aren't you? Just a little more fuel on there. So, you all remember that time when we were walking towards the boars and all of a sudden we all kind of stumbled?
Yes.
Well, I'm remembering it a bit differently. And I feel Xenesis would back me up on this. And you don't have to believe me because I might be going insane because I don't believe it myself. But
what the fuck are you doing here?
Oh, I heard
She's
my
ex-
name. Am I not supposed to be here?
You are in
You're in the
another
boys'
room. You
room.
absolutely
It's like a
did not
dog
hear
no
your name.
calls allowed. She's like I dream of Jeannie. We stare at her, she just poof right next to me.
She fucking leaves a Xenesis-shaped hole in the wall. She's fucking, yes, you called?
Did you see Jack? Is he here? So, actually, I should probably start by knowing, do you guys have any idea what the hell the Lantern King is? Because I'm still pretty confused about that whole thing.
What is the
King.
Lantern King? And
Well-
perhaps you should tell your story from the beginning.
So, me and Xenesis ended up, well, we woke up. I woke up first. There was another group of people. We've never met them. Well, we ended up meeting them, me and Xenesis. The Lantern King was this kind of weird spirit thing in a tree. We ended up in some place that one of the people that we met called the Feywilds. I guess it's like some kind of place that's not quite here, but should be. I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention. All that mumbo jumbo doesn't stick with me. But-
I don't think Flea knows anything about the Feywilds.
Nope, he sure doesn't. It would
Well,
be planes anyway.
Oh, definitely don't know planes.
I'm going to like lean forward and kind of slap my knees with my hands and go, okay, so this thing in a tree, giant eyeball ghost thing that talked kind of weird, told us that we had to help him with something. You guys were all asleep. He gave me and one of the other people of the group a potion to wake up one of the, people with us. And I'm sorry to say this, but I did pick Xenesis. Because, I didn't know any of the other people could help us in case someone got an arm chopped off or dropped down a cliff. And, if you guys died and I kept Xenesis around, she could, bring you back. Oh, by the way, he was totally threatening to eat us. Like, completely. He said if we didn't help him, he was just going to eat all of us. And honestly, I believed him. Because, he kind of teleported all of us there at the snap of a finger. And I was kind of hoping that you knew what I was talking about when I said Feywilds or any of this, because you're kind of looking at me like, am I insane? Am I insane right now?
Well, tell your story. We don't understand what the fuck you're talking about, but obviously this seemed to happen to you.
So, I mean, yes, strange things have happened to us, but this thing gave me and the other person, her name was Serena? It was Serena? Serene? Damn it!
Oh my god.
It's
Travis,
been a week.
you would know that Whitney's character in that game is named Saria.
Saria.
Yeah, like Zarya, but with an S. Because she's
Yeah,
smaller.
No,
Mhm.
she was definitely Serena Williams.
God.
Could have been.
This big tennis bitch.
So, Saria and I were given a potion and chose each one person each to wake up from our group. We made kind of a little ragtag team and went around and helped possibly the stupidest person I have ever met become a knight. And, well, we succeeded. So somewhere out there, if he is on our plane of existence, I actually kind of hope he isn't, but I don't know. But he is now an extremely powerful knight wielding a sword that may be telling him to commit genocide. I promise he won't do it, but, the sword's out there now. We also may have committed murder. It was
I see.
It was completely by accident. Jack Jones did it. Oh yeah,
Who's
Jack Jones.
Jones?
He was this incredibly handsome pirate with a golden hand that, well, listen, we were acting on a stage with a dragon, and we were method acting, and then an accident happened, and the dragon, he died. We
So
kind of had
a
to improvise.
pirate killed an actor? That doesn't.
No,
I
it
look
was
over.
an actual dragon. Acting. Like
I
he
look-
was a dragon in a play.
Flea looks super confused over at Havelock and is like,
You don't think I'm confused by this? I'm still confused by this.
Leopold, have you been sleeping well?
maybe that brandy went to his head. I signed to have.
How
I didn't
much
drink
of that
any of the brandy.
brandy? Have you been experimenting with polypurpose panacea?
I can't say that I have, although,
Panacea?
less than a month ago, I was nearly choked to death by a giant horrifying abomination with claws for hands.
I wonder
So,
if
I don't know,
oxygen
maybe
still
the
hasn't
stress
gone
is
to his
getting to me.
brain.
But
I
I
don't know.
swear
He
it
seems
happened.
to be telling the truth, which means he's fucking crazy.
He believes what he's saying? What the fuck?
I think so. I'm discerning lies. He's not
BRB.
lying.
Well.
You guys are all saying this right in front of me.
Yes.
I mean, you understand most of what Flea is signing, but Havelock doesn't seem to be hiding his voice, so.
Well, I imagine when you say I think he's crazy, you just did the cuckoo thing by your head.
Okay, you know what? That's probably the sign for it, so yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you understand that this story sounds fucking batshit.
Yeah, I mean, I have no way of really proving it other than the fact that Xenesis was there and she was awake at the time.
So, Xenesis could corroborate all of this?
She could, but she's probably explaining it to Elix at the moment. And she's probably also getting very strange looks from Elix.
Cut to. Now I want to hear Zeus describe this to Tanner.
Yeah, I
Because
wanna-
Tanner
Tanner is
wasn't around for-
AFK at the moment, but yeah, we should
Right.
get to that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, I
wanna-
want to hear this so
Let's
bad.
go.
Oh, before we go, Zinsis kind of drank way too much and passed out dreaming of Jack Jones. She wasn't there at the play. She doesn't know we murdered someone. Please leave it at that. Just say we did it.
I'm
Just
not
say we
sure
got
I
out of
believe
there.
you, so as long as you don't say anything, I don't think you have anything to
Okay.
worry about.
We'll leave it at that then.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should check on the girls. And I go follow them to the room.
Elix is trying to climb off the balcony. Like, nope.
Yeah,
nope,
you
you're
guys
crazy person.
enter into the room. Xenesis is, I guess, snuggled into the bed, doing something.
Nah, she's just brushing her hair because it's so nice and long.
Oh, so she's like kneeling on the bed, brushing her hair. Cool. Ilix is nowhere to be found in the room.
Oh.
I walk out on the balcony, which is where I would
balcony.
immediately assume that she would be if she's on the roof.
She's also not out there.
What?
What?
She's on the roof or something, I bet.
She in a tree or
Um,
something?
I look around for Ilix. Look and listen for Ilix.
We'll have to wait for Tanner to get back to roleplay the rest of this.
Yep.
Okay.
But while we wait, I would challenge you all to remember why you are at Ascanor Lodge in the first place.
That's
What
why I
is
said.
this?
That's why I
One
only
second.
said.
One second.
That's why I only said it's complicated because I didn't have the 45 minutes to explain to this werewolf.
Yeah, I just want you
Yeah.
guys to
You know-
kind of confer and make sure that you all remember, because it's been a while.
It has been a while.
What's it called? Ascanor Lodge?
Ascanor Lodge.
Ascanor.
Can you spell that, or is that art in our notes?
Ascanor.
Don't really
Ah.
have much in the way of notes for that.
Sorry, guys. I had a big brown dog barking at the back door. You know what I'm saying?
Did you punch him in the head?
I did.
Next to his eye?
punched him in the head and squeezed him off.
God. Is that when you're taking a poop?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
That's
conclusion.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Hmm?
Yeah, I had to go poop. So yeah.
So,
you'll look. I think I don't know what the roof looks like. Is there a?
it's fairly flat.
Yeah. I don't know if I would see him like walk out onto the balcony. But if I did.
Oh, actually,
um,
it's a lodge, isn't it? So it's actually gonna have a apex. It's gonna be triangular.
Yeah.
And you
I'll-
wouldn't hear me enter the balcony because it probably wouldn't make much noise.
Maybe his elf ears can.
It's a wooden building. I mean,
Lumberfoot.
it's an old wooden building.
But I do everything as quietly as damn fucking possible.
Well, then roll your stealth.
Yeah, roll stealth.
I guess I should roll stealth. I'm not trying to be sneaky, but I'm
Clearly
it's only for
That's
sound.
apparent
So
by the
stealth-
roll. Yeah.
Stealth is for sound.
So Ilix will so you'll be like out there like looking for Elix, I guess, and she'll like her head will just like pop out over the eave of the roof, and she'll just wait for you to notice her, and then she'll wave at you. Like she's almost being a little bit playful.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even if
Um,
I gave Ilix a -16 penalty on that perception check, it would still make it.
Yeah, she notices me. Did I notice her? Because she's not exactly hiding from me, but she's
I'm
giving
not.
me a good noise.
I'm not trying to be quiet.
Okay.
So
No. Yeah. Once
Okay.
you look
Well, I
around
guess-
long enough, you see her.
yeah, if you
Um,
look up, because Ilix has a habit of getting up on the roofs of things, she'll like
I will climb in
wave
front
at
of you.
you.
Or yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I think you can
Afterwards,
climb it.
Come back and be like,
Cool.
no climbing on stuff.
I'm just gonna sit with Ilix and chill. I might sign to her when I get up here and say, "What you doing up here?"
and
Hello?
silence descended upon the
Oh,
Sorry,
I see.
land.
sorry. I forgot I had push to talk on.
Okay.
Ilix says, uh, "It's nice to step away for a few moments, you know. It is a beautiful night after all. I'm hoping it's actually a beautiful night. I kind of made an assumption there.
It is.
It's raining,
It's
it's
pretty
storming.
clear
It's
skies, but
it's
it's
pretty
not
nippy,
terribly well
but-
lit. It is a bit cold. Yeah, it's probably like mid 40s. But you've got pretty good leathers on, so I don't think you're
Yeah.
that bothered.
Yeah.
You do note that it's like a crescent moon tonight, and it should be a new moon in a couple days.
Ilix, since this is like an angled roof, she's gonna like lean back and sort of like brace her feet to keep herself from slipping. So she's got like I guess she's got her knees up and she's just sort of leaning back against the roof. And then if there's like of course there's going to be a moment of silence because you don't
I don't talk.
you don't talk. So Ilix will say, it's going to be a new moon soon.
I think I'm just gonna like look up at the moon and like I'm gonna point out constellations and just like
Ilix is going to ask you about the stories behind them because she doesn't know
actually I
much
think that
about
would
them.
be interesting because like I'm guessing Ilix has because like you would see the stars as a like woodland elf, right? Like you totally have you'd have different names for the constellations than we would.
Yeah, I think that things would be broken up enough so that like, but this is probably like one of the. She's used to being in a dense forest, so like she's seen stars, of course, but the big expanse of sky, such that you could make, say, oh, there are patterns. Like the pattern recognition would probably be absent from her experience
Gotcha. Okay.
of stars, other than like maybe like some directional stars. And Ilix will definitely listen to any stories that you have concerning constellations and their origins.
Yeah, I would just point out a bunch of different let's see. Uslav is north, right? So I'd point out, like the Wraith, the Rose, the Owl, like a bunch of different constellations.
Mm-hmm.
And just sort of explain the like what would I roll for like maybe the story, like the lore behind them? Like would that be I guess because like my stories would probably be like religious in nature. Could I roll like knowledge religion to come up with stories?
I could see. Well, I could see local.
Well, I don't have local. That's why I'm trying to do religion.
I
Oh,
would
okay,
take
I
religion
gotcha.
or history, yeah, if you're wanting
Yeah.
to. And as far as I'm concerned, you can just bullshit any Pharasman
Cool.
interpretations that you want.
Awesome. Well, I don't think any of these actually have like links I can click on. I just have like a list of them. So I talk about like the caravan would and like I'm not gonna bother making up stories right now, but like
Yeah, no.
just like outline their shapes and tell you their names and like little different stories like here and there that I'd heard throughout the years. Because like it's not like I use the stars to navigate ever, but this is something that Plea would probably do at nights, like just sit in his garden and stare up at the stars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Ilix will listen to your stories, and she'll. Her stories won't be like about constellations, but be like, sort of like, more like hero tales. Like this star represents this.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a star, not a constellation, but this star represents this person and what they did. Sort of her own like heroic
Yeah, like a
myths
woodland
that she
folklore
knows.
myth
Yeah.
of how the stars got up there. Sort of thing.
This guy did this thing, and for that reason, he became this star and things like that. But Ilix is very appreciative of you telling stories to her, and she thanks you. And I assume after a while of this, we'll probably
Return to the party.
rejoin.
Yeah,
so
as
as
it
not
gets
to be
colder.
super antisocial.
Yeah, I'll stand up as it gets colder because I'm probably wearing less clothing than it looks, and be like, "It's getting a bit cold out here. Wanna go back inside?" And I extend my hand to help her up,
Yep.
So,
and then
So
climb back
we'll-
inside.
Yep.
And
I
then it's
assume-
story time with Xenesis.
I am dying to hear this.
And then the dwarf was eating the pies.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, all right, Leopold, don't
Whoa,
say.
whoa, whoa! Dwarf pies. This got really
If-
erotic really fast.
I don't think there was a dwarf.
Your character's a dwarf. Not this one,
But
I guess. The other one's a
but my
Never
dwarf didn't
mind.
play.
That's right. That's
But she was
right.
there.
But she was there, but wasn't
Genesis
there.
saw a sleeping dwarf at one point in the
Yeah.
adventure. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes. Can you guys explain what in the actual fuck you're talking about?
What?
Wait,
what do you?
Leopold
Wait,
has
what's
told
going
some,
on?
Leopold told us some fantastical story and said that Genesis, you could corroborate it. So I'd like to hear your side.
Oh yes, yes,
Remember Zoot?
absolutely.
Remember Zen, Jack Jones, and the pie eating
yes,
and the pie eating
yeah,
penguin dwarf and the.
Oh, I sure do
Yep.
remember Jack Jones.
Okay,
well,
and
let's-
what else? Please tell
I'm
me
already
I'm not crazy.
uncomfortable.
No, Leopold is definitely not crazy. When we stumbled upon the boars, everything just kind of went out black, and then next thing we see is that well, I guess I'm passed out, and Leopold's there waking me up, and we're in this place. It's very magical. I think he called it the Feywild, and that basically is where everything started. I think that's how you would describe it.
Okay.
Your
When
guess is
Xenesis
as good as mine.
when Xenesis says that I'm not crazy, I turn to y'all with this exact face, this exact expression.
I went to lie down on my bed while I listened to the story, damn it. 1 second.
I'm
It's been a
looking at-
rough. It's
Yeah,
been a
It's
rough
Willem
time.
Dafoe looking
Oh.
like Willem
Oh
Dafoe.
my god.
Okay. Yeah. I
But
think
yes, no.
Lee is
Leopold.
horrified.
Yeah, Leopold is definitely not crazy. And then I got to meet some other people, and the most notably this. Oh my gosh, handsome beyond handsome guy. His name was Jack Jones, and or no, sorry, not Jack. Yeah, he was a pirate, and he had this. He had like a hook, which was golden, and then he also had a golden thumb, which was probably the coolest. And there was this creepy looking figure. His name was a Lantern King, and basically we were trapped in the Feywilds, and we had to get this person, which one of the party members that we met knew him quite well. Jack Jones, yeah, he knew him very well, and he was every moment possible he was just seething with just disgust that he had to help this person. The person was his name was Dolan, and he was super special. I don't want to say retarded because it's kind of mean.
He,
He
But-
was.
he's not.
Simple.
Simple.
He's extraordinarily simple, as far as you
Yeah.
can tell.
Rudimentary.
Mm-hmm.
His IQ
And-
is just above vegetable.
Elementary.
Yeah. And then we met this one lady. Her name was Saria, and you guys were completely passed out. We couldn't wake you up. It was kind of disappointing. It would have been nice to have more familiar faces. And then the goal was to turn this a simple man or boy, don't know what you'd call him, but basically into a knight, and that definitely seemed almost impossible. And I think they got it because clearly I'm back with you guys and we're all awake. The last thing I remember was got a little bit too tipsy and passed out. But yes, we went through a lot of adventures, a lot of trials to get him to become a knight. He had to rescue a lady. He had to show courage. There's some other one too, but it was a legit thing, and I'm glad that he became a knight, and I think there were some pretty good friendships made and good
Yeah,
memories.
We're friends. I consider us friends with Jack Jones now. Apparently, he's some really notoriously infamous pirate somewhere.
Mhm.
So, just so you know, we're kind of friends with some pretty heinous criminals now.
I've never heard of him.
I've Heard of this Jack Jones? Must not be so famous.
Well,
I feel
we
like
do.
Actually, if you guys want to give me knowledge local,
Oh.
I think it would be kind of cool if Plea knew about Jack Jones.
That would be
Jack
crazy.
Jones is canon?
I don't have local range, so I don't know
Well,
if I
Plea
can.
doesn't know shit.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh,
Well,
Zen
Zinnis
knows.
Of course.
She's all
Zinnis
over
is
him.
Well,
knows.
Zinnis has
You know what I
actually
mean?
met him, so
Yeah, Zinnis, but Zinnis
But
would
now
know
she
like
would have
local
knowledge of-
legends.
Yeah, she
Haven't
might
met him.
have heard tales about
okay.
it.
So now the question is, Walker, is your pirate character famous enough that it would be common knowledge?
I don't know if it would be common knowledge in Ustalav, which is a landlocked country.
Fair enough. So
Mhm,
11's
that was
not
my
going to
thought.
cut it either.
11 is probably not. But I'm
So-
does Ilix know?
I don't have knowledge local.
I mean, neither do I. But
Oh, can I roll it?
roll it and see. I'm curious.
Okay.
Just
you
for
know, if you roll
funsies.
super high, it's a fun roll.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Ilix knows
Damn.
Yes.
every
The
He was
least
my
likely of
crush.
all of us.
Okay, so here's my argument
has
for
a
this. Can we
poster
go
of
to the map?
The world map, yeah.
Yeah.
Because your forest is actually near the water, right?
It's near the inner sea, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Like this, or lake in Carthan. I don't know how
Oh.
that's connected to the inner
Yeah,
sea,
I'm
though.
curious. Let's see. Map of.
It is connected to the sea by rivers, I think.
It is probably
I don't know where.
highly unlikely that because it
That
is
it
a
would get all the way there,
landlocked
yeah.
lake.
Where is I can't think of the name of the other place.
I mean, I'm gonna be
Casimir?
honest.
Yeah, where's Casimir in relation to Ustalav?
I don't know that matters so much. He gets around.
I do get around.
I'm just
Literally.
curious, like if we.
Actually,
I-
there's some pretty decent rivers. I think it's very possible that Jack Jones could have.
I
come
would
into that lake.
argue that the fact that we had a blue whale for sale in Lepidstadt kind of shows
Oh my
Wasn't a
God.
blue
that
whale for sale.
there was apparently a blue whale or something.
No.
Casimir's in Taldor.
I think it's safe to say that traveling merchants probably would have spread tales of the infamous Jack Jones on the high seas. And traveling merchants would use the rivers and lakes to get to the cities and towns in like Avalon Bay. And so it's not unlikely that a wood elf in that southern area might have heard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm in the Verduran Forest, which Taldor's like right to the south,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
You guys have been
Totally.
in the Verduran Forest in my game. That's where Tristeza House
Yeah.
is.
Oh, so you literally may have encountered him in the past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perhaps she literally overheard us while we were barging through the forests. You know,
maybe
while she was a youngin.
Oh, I
Because
thought you
we
were
don't-
from Forest of Vales.
the Forest of Vales, Verduran Forest. It's all the same. It's the same damn thing.
It's all the
It's
same
the s-
forest.
It's just which bank I think
There's only
you're
one
on.
forest.
Jesus. All right.
It's just like broken up into 3 parts.
Okay. Sure.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah, but so, yeah, you've heard of Jack Jones, so you know
I
that
know, isn't
she's.
he amazing?
Don't go role playing off of me. Alex got to role play that.
Geez. Would I know whether or not these people are contemporaneous with us? Or are they like dead like 1,000 years ago kind
That
of
is
thing?
a really good question. When does?
Similar timelines, I would say.
Okay. Yes, I've certainly heard of this this blackguard. Sounds like a pirate, I guess would be the word that is used by the seafaring peoples. Sounds like a common rogue, mostly to me, but he has earned quite a reputation for, well, to put it lightly, womanizing.
I assure you, he met his match with Xenesis.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Xenesis
You've never
and say,
met.
The most
wait,
womanized.
before you say that, I look at Xenesis and says, oh, so you resisted his charms.
Oh, more completely the
Misunderstanding
opposite
Leopold
way.
entirely.
No, he seemed to be a little distant the more I pushed.
Yes, well, from what you've told us, it sounds like you were trapped in basically hell.
Oh, it wasn't hell. If he was there, it was not hell.
It was a little hell.
Flea looks over at Havelock and raises his eyebrow so high off his face, it hits the ceiling.
Oh, by the way,
And it
as we were
flies away and
successful-
becomes its own creature.
Yep.
So yeah, we were successful, and as such, you guys weren't eaten alive by the Lantern King. So
Well,
you just
so we're supposed to thank you, I guess.
no, because I saved myself too, and I almost got killed as well. A lot.
Oh, I
Just
wish
saying,
you guys
everything
could have
worked
been
out.
there. I don't know
Well-
why they restricted us to only having one person
Well,
to
the
wake up.
Lantern King's kind of an asshole, so
Hmm.
at that exact moment, a hand comes out just laughing.
Well, it certainly sounds as though you had quite an adventure, and I suppose stranger things have happened in the world.
Stranger
I look at
things
Havelock and
dun-dun-dun-dun.
Stranger things have happened? When? That was the strangest
I
story
mean,
we've ever heard.
Not to
Ariana
us.
Grande in the distance.
Yes, I'm not saying they've happened to us personally. I'm just saying there's a lot of Cade and Carrion.
Fair enough. I just shrug at that and can't disagree because
Yeah.
we all know the tales of Cade and Killian.
Havelock, there was literally
That's because
a
he's an
dwarf
awesome
where-
deity.
Yeah, got
the
shit-faced
best.
one night and became a god.
I love it. I love the story so
Mm-hmm.
much.
I love that he can't remember how he did
What
it.
he did,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
He
just it was something-
accidentally became immortal on a dare because he was drunk.
Yeah.
It was like a trial of the star or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trial of the
Yeah.
Starstone, which only Iomade and him have completed.
Well,
And
It was
Iomade
clearly
completed
seduced
it because
by
she's like the most pure of heart human that's ever existed.
Right.
And Caden Kalian completed it because who the fuck knows how.
Nobody knows. It's the best.
so yeah, I'm gonna put both hands on Havelock's shoulders. I'm gonna look him in the eyes and goes, I'm not crazy. There was a dwarf wearing a penguin suit eating banana cream pies. Actually, he stole that one. He ate a blueberry pie first. It exploded.
Was he a dwarf?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I won the pie contest too, guys.
Yeah.
I'm so proud.
I've never seen Xenesis eat as much as she did. She
Yeah,
ate,
Kevin's character
like,
was a dwarf.
8.
Okay.
Yes, it was,
Well,
and it was incredible.
It was
That-
definitely wild. That's for sure.
that certainly sounds amazing. I would love to meet them one day.
I don't know.
Sure,
This
they're
Jack
around.
Jones sounds like an asshole.
I would love to meet most
Better
of
than
them.
an asshole.
He'd like to
I-
meet them so he can prosecute them and put them behind bars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
they kind of
this
say
this Jack
kinda saved
Jones. Well, I suppose that's true. I mean, the sorceress sounded competent at least.
Were they at least skilled?
Oh yeah.
Mhm. Oh, for sure. Without them, we definitely would not have been able to get that special child Dolan to become a knight. And Jack Jones, even with his seething hate towards him, got him. Was able to relate to him, which was quite impressive too.
Well, it sounds as if you all had an excellent little adventure and completed some interesting character arcs along the way.
Yeah.
I look at
I,
Havelock
Indeed.
and sign what is character art, and I like spell it out because I don't understand. Like, there's no
I think you
sign.
know what a character arc is, but it's a weird
certainly
way to put
increased
it.
our character.
It's
I
a really
say
weird
meta-knowledge.
way to phrase it.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I mean, let's be honest. We all play. What's the like real world Dungeons and Dragons equivalent in the Dungeons and Dragons world?
Road Locator. Oh no, that's
What?
my game.
There's another
Road
one.
locator.
I think Road Locator was it, the one that you had made. It's basically Pathfinder, but
That was the one that I'd created in my game, which is the game that people play in my world, about our world. The classes are like
That's awesome.
electrician and grocer,
Electrician, plumber,
taxi cab driver.
white collar criminal.
Yeah, a fantastic world of magical gadgets and gizmos that.
All right. So if we
Yeah.
if we want to get back on track
Yeah,
here
go-
in the
go on,
last
go on.
20 minutes of the game, so you explain this story to Ilix. What's her reaction?
I didn't realize that the battle with that creature in the tower had been so traumatic. It's really sad to see what effect it's had on your mental well-being.
Xenesis didn't even get touched.
Genesis just kind of looks quirky, like, huh?
Now, if you were saying that about just me, sure, I did get choked quite a lot, but like, you know,
The
Xenesis,
scars of battle are not just physical. You should know this.
I don't think mental scars affect Xenesis. I'm pretty sure she's pretty sparkly clean about all that.
Ilix just has this sad look of like pitying you guys or your PTSD that she thinks you guys are undergoing.
Have I told you about
Havelock-
Pepe, Sylvia?
Havelock says, Ilix, there's no evidence of that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go to the nearest latrine immediately.
I'm going to bed.
Well, perhaps
Yes.
we ought to get some rest, and now that we're here in private, I think perhaps we can talk a little more candidly about what appears to be the involvement of the Whispering Way in not only the Lodge's affairs, but the wolves as well. It's worth keeping in mind that the werewolf we met earlier insisted that we were in cahoots with this Mathis. And if that werewolf knew we were coming from the lodge, it's highly possible that she simply confused us for the person from the lodge that is in cahoots with this Mathis person. We'll want to be on our guard, and well, we're going to meet the leader of the lodge tomorrow. I suppose anyone here could be a suspect.
I'll make sure to prepare some spells that'll help us to figure out if they're the truth.
Now
Yes,
remember,
that might be prudent.
I can detect evil, so the thing that we'll have to do is, if I suspect someone of being evil, I'll have to quickly go into like the next room to use the power because it's obvious when I use it.
Oh, just say
But
that
I
you
can
need
still
to
see
use the
evil through the wall.
restroom.
Well, I probably will have to. In fact, I'll probably spend the rest of our time here in the latrine. You guys just make like a bird call, and I'll use my
Flea
ability.
moves his mouth as if to make a bird call, and no noise comes out.
Plea, I can tell when you're miming a bird call. We're just that close.
He gives you a big thumbs up, and Xenesis, you probably recognize this. It looks exactly like what Jack Jones would do when he was using that big golden thumb of his.
she just her face flushes and she just falls back on the bed. Good memories.
I
Can
look
I
at Xenesis and
Can
say,
I
"What?"
sleep with all of you tonight? I don't want to interrupt.
At the same time?
In the same room, you slanderous pervert.
I beckon for Ilix to join us and sign. We should let her have her time.
Yes,
Yes,
I wouldn't
let's-
want to interrupt anything.
Let's let the girls have their time together, I say, walking extraordinarily slowly toward the door and looking for a nearby
Don't think
bush.
Ryan understood what was going on.
Alex reaches back like she's going to grab an arrow and instead pulls a middle finger out.
Yes.
That's good.
Okay. So you guys go to bed then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
All
Yeah,
right.
Perhaps we ought to keep watches just to make sure nothing untoward happens.
Are you planning on leaving, Leopold, or are you going to hang out with us?
Well, fine.
Aw.
If I don't say anything, they won't notice me. Their vision's based on movement.
I have become invisible by standing completely still.
Perfectly still.
That was
Alex
a really good bit.
is going to let Xenesis have the bed and is going to throw out, like, find a rug or something and, like, throw it out in front of the fireplace and is going
Aw.
to camp there.
Yeah,
She's
please
used to
move
hard
Single-
ground, so like mattresses probably suck to sleep on.
Please
Yeah.
pulls out his
Beds give me nightmares.
sleeping
Her
mat and
her
puts it by the fire.
calloused back. Her
Yeah.
leather-like back.
Disgusting.
Yeah. She's got. That's where she keeps her elf tits.
Oh god.
God.
That's where they store them, on the
Ugh.
leather back.
Yeah. There's 16 of them, and they're all leathery.
Is this like the fantasy version of the? Never mind.
Leopold, you didn't hear anybody in the room on the right. It's quite
Okay.
late at this point.
Yeah, well, like I was waiting to hear like someone be like, huh, when someone mentioned the Whispering Way, and start packing their shit and getting ready to leave. Like just they just fuck off immediately.
So
Alex
the
is
following
going to
morning,
go, I was like, go ahead.
are you gonna?
I was just gonna say I make sure both the inside door and the balcony door are locked, and I put the chair under the door of the inside.
Oh, paranoid. I
room.
like it.
Yeah.
All right. I guess it is Ustalav, so that's fair. Okay, so in the morning, the porter comes by to wake you all and rouse you from your rooms. And he brings you a tray of coffee, and he says, well, when you're all ready, I'd like to take you to visit my master, and we can have proper introductions.
Master, oh my.
Yes, not like that, my dear.
Xenesis, if you need to talk more, I'm certainly open. You know, I understand how traumatic the events must have been to cause this shared hallucination.
Well, maybe this evening. But there
Yes.
weren't hallucinations. You even know one of the people.
I've heard of him. Just because I've heard of somebody doesn't mean that you actually met him.
Well, I suppose we must go see this person. We'll discuss this later.
As
The
you
way
wish.
she says later. It's like, should we like leave Zoo alone with anyone now? One brush with Jack Jones, and now it's this.
She wishes it was more of a brush. She wishes it was the whole easel.
Oh my
Oh
god.
god.
As you
Painted
guys
out
are
with
taking your coffee
just
and
blood is-
following Bellic downstairs, there is a pretty savvy-looking gentleman who walks down, presumably to go get his breakfast for the morning.
A savvy-looking gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Oh, it's
Oh my god,
Littlefinger.
it's Vincent Price.
It is Littlefinger. I like that.
I'm definitely donning my noble's outfit.
It's alright.
Oh no, did we leave Poopsie?
No.
He never
Okay.
leaves Poopsie. Poopsie's just magically
Yeah, where do you think the meat for the traps came from?
No.
Poopsie
think-
fetched it. She hunted. She's
Totally.
a fierce
Yeah.
hunting dog.
fierce hunting Pomeranian.
Mm-hmm.
I just imagine that Poopsie like sits in a little pouch on your waist when you're
Mhm.
like in combat and stuff.
I keep her in a Pokeball.
Yeah.
I
It's a
totally
doggy
could
bag.
make that canon though, that Duristan took your pet and, and used it for bait. But anyway.
That's pretty fucked up.
I think he
That's-
would have to roll for that.
You're probably right.
Roll over my dead buddy.
Let's butcher your obvious pet.
I think he would have to roll into a shallow grave for that.
Oh my. Okay.
I don't think we'd have any problem killing him.
Clearly.
What's the man say? Does he address us
Mechanically,
at
no.
all?
Ethically, maybe.
He just sort of nods to you as he walks down the hallway, and then goes down the
Yes.
stairs.
The nod, TM.
Ah.
I know. I know one of us is wearing Noble's clothes, but Ilix does not look like. Ilix looks more like the working people.
Please, very
She-
obviously wearing the monk's robes of Pharasma. He probably looks like a priest.
Probably wearing like a grungy ass traveler's outfit.
Yeah.
I look like a fucking noble.
Yeah.
Come,
That's a
Oopsie.
lot of money on that.
I probably look
Breakfast
like
waits?
I probably look like your Delgros or whatever his name is.
I like that.
Come, servants, carry me down the stairs. I shan't walk them.
If you all don't mind, the breakfast will be here when you are finished meeting with the lodge warden.
Very well, very well.
Follow the halfling.
He will
Dutifully.
take you outside to the lodge master's quarters. I believe it is over on the right hand side. I think it's that lone building there, but let me double check. D2. Nope, that's the porter's cottage. Wow, words.
TTLL. They look the same.
Okay,
Yes.
give me
they're
just a
the
second
same,
then.
Except for the spelling.
I think I got this flipped around.
I've been so tame tonight. Like
You
I've
have.
been good.
This is the
I've been-
appropriate amount of
I've been
alcohol
drinking
to drink.
too. And most of the time I don't drink. And that's when
Yes.
that's
Maybe
when
that's
That's
a
it.
lie.
that's when the salacious NSFW
In
nonsense
fairness,
comes out.
in the past when you've drank, it has come out far, far worse.
Yes.
Yeah, if you can remember that time that we had that rule where you guys took a drink every time someone rolled a nat 20, and then we
Mm.
proceeded to get like
It was so fun.
Shit face.
fucking like 20
Yeah.
of them in one session somehow.
It was a
Oh,
mistake.
okay. So he's waiting for you guys in the library. That explains
Oh my
a
god.
lot.
Oh my god, this is Clue. We're in
I think it
Pathfinder
literally
Clue.
is.
There's gonna
Pretty
be
close.
a murder mystery, and 25 characters will pop out
So
of the
he
rooms.
leads you down this like grand hallway.
We're all the murderers.
Yeah, totally.
It was Ilix
Um,
with the +1/+1 crossbow.
So
the
he
library.
takes you down to the end of the hallway here, and you see that that guy that was with you upstairs walk into the dining room on the left, and you get a whiff of like eggs and bacon and all that deliciousness.
Lots of breakfast meats.
Yeah.
Yep. Ilix's ears perk up.
So Bellic up to this point has just been walking through all these doors like he owns the place, but with the library, Zuzu's echoing on me.
God damn it.
Yeah, I heard sorry in the background.
Okay, try to say something?
Are you ready?
Okay, cool. I
Cool.
had an imbalance for a second. I was only hearing sound on one side of my ear, and I was like,
Okay. Anyway, so Bellic has been walking through all these doors up to this point, and he walks up to this one, and he knocks 3 times. There's a bit of a pause before the door creaks open, revealing a circular room with book-lined walls, and in the center is a older-looking gentleman who is also well-dressed. Let me get his token moved over.
It's a hippie.
No. Well, first
Wait.
off, that's the same token as the shapeshifter,
The
skin
Skin
sealer.
Man, yeah.
No, it's not.
So, That is
It
absolutely
totally is.
the same token that he had before he shed his skin.
Yeah, before he ripped his skin off, obviously.
All right, sure.
Is it supposed
got
to look
one of those
slightly different?
It's a soul patch.
He's just like, shit, it was me.
I'm guessing it's not supposed to look like the same
Mystery
person, though.
solved.
It's supposed to look like a new old person.
I'm pretty sure you said this twice before, so
Mr. Estovian!
I think you might just think that everybody who has a book in their hand looks the same. Fucking racists.
I don't recognize him.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't either.
that's how Pol Pot killed
Dig him
all
up.
the intellectuals. And...
You can't.
him up.
It's in the archive that Dart made.
Pull it out of the archive. Do it right now. Find the exact character that we need.
I'm not
Totally
gonna do that.
unnecessary.
But it would be fun.
But it's supposed to be a different character. I'm just thinking, cause yeah.
Or is it?
Once the door creaks open, Bellic bows low, or as low as he can as a halfling.
I follow suit.
And he says, "Esteemed guests, may I present Estovian Lazarov, Lodge Warden of Ascanor. I need coffee."
So do we all.
And he goes walking into the breakfast room after Estovian kind of waves his hand and dismisses him.
Oh yes, greetings.
Pedants, introduce me.
I signed to have like, I'll
I'm
kill your
just-
dog
yeah.
if you keep acting
I'm
like
just
this.
staring at him. Again,
Like Ilix like takes her bow and like jabs you right in the foot.
Yeah, good
All right.
morning to you all. How are you today?
I bow low and thank him and sign that I'm well.
comfortable.
Excellent.
Pleasant.
If you would please not hold the actions of my porter against him, the error in your improper greeting was entirely mine. I neglected to inform my staff of the open invitations I gave to the order. He pauses here and gives you a nice wink. And he says, "And they did not recognize the reservations. Rest assured, however, that all of the lodge's facilities are at your disposal, including our libraries. And while the general library is down the hall, this one," he gestures broadly, "is likely better suited to your research."
I very briefly recall, but perhaps you can remind me, Dart. The order is the order that
The Esoteric
Paladin
Order of
something.
the Palatine Eye.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah. Havelock's new prospective bros.
Yeah,
Before
possibly.
retcons.
Possibly.
I look to my party because I can't talk.
Well, first off, I should actually go in the room, I suppose.
No,
I'll say,
Wrong.
hallway.
Wrong
Oh.
hallway.
He's just kind of talking to you through the doorway.
oh.
Okay.
Alright. I'll say, well, of course we didn't hold it against him. Is he still there? The servant?
No, he's in the breakfast room. There's some chatter coming from in
Oh,
there.
I thought that was the
No.
lodge guy. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to decide.
It's Esteban.
I'm trying to decide exactly.
Now look here, Stevie.
You know what? I'm gonna say. Of course. It's nice to meet you. I wonder if I might share a moment of time with a fellow member of the order, or?
Oh,
Would I-
I'm not quite as honored as such,
I see, but you
but
are.
they do have some pull around here.
Clearly.
Yes, I can see I can see that. Although I do think, and I'm not saying this in character, I do think it's a little funny to insist out that they have some pull around there, considering that we didn't even get in yesterday.
Exactly.
Like, how much pull do they really have?
I mean,
It's
that's what
almost
he's
like-
apologizing for, because they didn't
Yeah.
recognize your invitations.
It's almost like, yeah, the module was written to frustrate us.
Yes.
Or
Um,
there's alternate explanations as well. We
I-
don't need to
I-
get into
Sure.
those.
Yeah.
I suppose. Well, I don't know. I mean, how much do we fucking trust this guy?
Yeah, you're
As
the
far as I
Inquisitor
can
that
tell
has
'em.
literally all the tools to figure that out.
Yes.
Well,
If you wouldn't, what's it? He's the lodge
think-
master.
He's the lodge warden, yeah.
Maybe we should ask him more about the werewolves first, and maybe we can get an idea before we go talking about the Whispering Way.
Yeah.
And let's start with some easy eggs, and then work up to the big ones.
Well, he
Get
already
a- get a
knows we're
feel for this
members.
guy.
We're members of the order, right? So like,
He
It-
knows that
I
we're
th-
members of a secret society that really shouldn't be known about.
Well, we're not. He doesn't
He
know that we're members of
thinks
it.
that we're members
Does-
of an order of a secret society that he shouldn't know about.
he
so.
knows we have invitations
invitation.
from a secret society that. What? I don't know where you're getting that he shouldn't know about it.
I mean, it's a secret society. He's not supposed to know.
Yeah, but he's kind of someone who has a lot of
One
influence
would im-
himself if he's the guy who runs this place.
One
I mean,
would imagine that he should know about it, considering that they have special invitations to the
That
lodging
too?
rooms.
Yeah.
True. Fair
they
enough.
probably came to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that we're members. He may suspect that we're members, but he doesn't know that we are. I
Yes.
guess is
Yeah. Lodge Warden, I wonder if we might have a moment of your time in private.
Oh, sure. I'm the only one in here. Come on in. And he just kind of waves you into the
Mhm.
library.
I sit
Go
in
into-
one of these fancy chairs.
Ilix is this the library? This is the library, right? You
Mhm.
just said that probably.
Yeah.
Ilix is going to be fascinated by the books and look.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
no like bare wall. It's all like
yeah.
bookshelf.
She's
Oh,
going
awesome.
to look for some books that not specific. Like this isn't like a. I'm not. She's going to look for some. She's going to be occupied. I couldn't come up with a. Anyway.
Peruse the
I
books.
don't have very long to help you all, so if you could
Yes.
hurry it up.
Lodge Warden, your name was? I apologize.
Oh,
Stevie.
Estovian, please, Estovian.
Estovian. Estovian, my name is Havelock Swansong. We are here in part on order business, I suppose you could say. It's come to our attention of late that someone in the lodge may be involved in some dubious affairs.
Not sure I understand your meaning.
I'm gonna I want to discern lies. It's one action, like you can only do it a number of times per day as your character level.
What type of ability is this?
It functions as the spell. So I suppose it's a supernatural ability.
But I guess I'm asking, is there like, is
At
it
fifth
function the
level, an
same as
Inquisitor-
like detect alignment and that, or discern evil or whatever? Because
I
I
don't-
would assume there's some kind of indication that you're using this.
At 5th level, an Inquisitor can discern lies as per the spell. Blah, blah, blah. You concentrate on one target who must be within range. You know if the target deliberately and knowingly speaks a lie by discerning disturbances in its aura caused by lying. Spell does not reveal the truth, uncover unintentional inaccuracies, or necessarily reveal evasions.
Okay.
So it's just concentrating. So, slightly different
The
than
as
check.
per the spell part is
Well, he
It's
just
an
read the spell.
SP, is what it
so it's a
says.
spell-like ability.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, I suppose it's up to you to.
You would know how this spell looks, so asking like before you use it.
Okay, so I couldn't.
No, Havelock would know if this spell caused some change in your appearance because
Absolutely,
you've used
yeah.
it before. So whether or not he lets you use it, you don't have to
Yeah.
use it and then find out.
Yeah, you're not gonna get
Right.
punished. I think it probably looks pretty similar to your detect alignment, which is also a spell-like ability, if I recall.
It is also a spell-like ability.
Yeah, I think they
I
look pretty
guess.
similar. I don't think there's any reason to really flush out differences,
Okay.
unless you
I-
want to.
I don't do that then.
For my purposes, it's just whether or not this person knows that you are like scanning them with your X-ray vision.
Yeah. All right. So how does he respond? I guess then is the question.
Well, he asked you what you meant by like dubious stuff.
Well, you're aware that we went out with Durston yesterday, I suppose.
Yes, he's one of our newer guests. I heard that he was hunting werewolves or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did in fact encounter some werewolves. You might have heard about the trouble. They mentioned some interesting well made almost some accusations or seemed to believe that we were some other members of the lodge who had made some sort of deal with a different werewolf.
I don't know anything about all that. They don't really come here.
I'm aware of that, or I would suspect so. I was wondering, do you have any guests that arrived? So how long has it been since I'm wondering like if we could have like a rough guess on like how long it's been since the Whispering Way left what's his name's Castamark or whatever.
Yeah, we would
Carrion.
probably
Yeah, how long did
know.
the count say he was trapped for? Because that's when they trapped him. Was when he left.
I think it's been a little over a week, but don't quote
Okay.
me on that.
Well,
Witten
we'll just
seems to
say
be
that
having trouble with
timeline.
Bumble.
Yes, I
You
would
know they're a
say,
little ways ahead of you.
yeah. Uh, do you have any other guests that arrived within the last week?
Several, yes. I don't know that I can share that information with you. This is a private establishment. People come here to get away.
Of course.
I understand that. I understand that, Lodge Warden. Of course, what I'm describing to you is is a, a group of individuals that would see at least this lodge, if not this country, delivered into the hands of uh, of an ancient evil. We're talking.
Right.
We're talking. We're talking death and terror and mayhem and tragedy and calamity on a scale that
He
is
he
scarcely
stands
even
up from his chair and he says, "Listen, this is all well and good, but we're in Ustalav. These threats are nearly constant. If you'll excuse me, I have some research to attend to. Perhaps we can discuss this all another time."
I signed to plea that we probably should just lock the doors and burn the whole place down.
I actually, at that, I stand up and I put my hand on his shoulder and point to the chair.
Ilix,
I
who
sign.
hasn't been listening up until this point, sees them burn the whole place down and is like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, Bellic is waiting for you just outside the door down the hall. He can show you all to your rooms, and feel free to ask him for whatever you need.
I ask Xenesis to translate for me because I literally just sent Havelock to timeout and asked her to say thank you to Estovian. And
Oh, actually, he goes up a staircase that, for whatever fucking reason, isn't on the map, and it's in the back of the room.
Lovely.
Estovian, hey, we appreciate that you gave us your time. Sorry if we sound like we're just rambling.
No, it's all right. It's quite all right. I'm just a busy man. Feel free to have a look around the library. I hope that it has the answers that you seek.
As he leaves, I bow really low again. And then I grab Havelock and say, "Let's go get some breakfast. I think you need some food in your belly."
I think so
Look
too.
angry.
And then as we're eating breakfast, I'm gonna be signing to Havelock in like very fast sign language, using some of the more complex symbols to like make sure that he's okay. And I don't know if everyone else in the party will understand.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just frustrated. That guy's a fucking idiot.
Um, I tell you to mind your tongue because he is sort of in charge here.
Well, I'm
You're
I don't think
signing.
Bellic's
I'm
probably in
signing.
the room anymore.
also signing.
Okay, there. That's
Yeah,
fine.
That's what I
Bellic
I
intended.
wasn't sure if you were signing or talking.
Bellic
Yeah.
left a little while ago. He comes back with some food for you all. He checks on you and then leaves.
Oh, hi. We saw you this morning. What brings you here? Want to join and eat?
Let me go to my handy dandy cheat sheet. Actually, yeah, before we get into that, I'm gonna drop one piece of story here, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. We can have
Okay.
dialogue with the other lodge characters in the breakfast room when we resume next time, and that'll give me an opportunity to kind of pull all the tokens in and everything, because I didn't want to put tokens everywhere when there's 3 stories of this map.
Yeah, it'd be rough.
So I kind of wanted to just play it, shoot from the hip, each room that you guys go into. So this is an excellent place to stop. Havelock, as you are eating, you shift in your chair a little bit, and a piece of paper falls out from underneath you, almost like it was sitting in your chair when you sat down.
Reach down and pick it up. Take a look.
You open it up, and it says, some secrets are better left uncovered. Leave Ascanor before you fall prey to its curse.
Is it signed?
No, it is not.
Some secrets are better left uncovered.
Wait,
That doesn't make any
that
sense.
doesn't make sense.
And
Well,
with that, we end.
Dun dun dun. I wonder who this note was for.
Okay, cool. If we're gonna end there, Zoo, do you have